when I was diagnosed with the when I was diagnosed with the congestive heart failure, just like everyone else, I was like, "Oh no, what the?" Okay. Well, my mindset at that time was also oh, this is a death sentence, da, 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 da. And because I wasn't very familiar with heart failure and heart disease and all those other things. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. I talked to my cousin for like 3 hours today. Me and my cousin are literally the same person. We are literally the same person. Um, and we just talked about all this health stuff because he didn't know about what I went through and when I was in the hospital and all that stuff. So, we as Black people, when we think about heart attacks, what do you think about? Put in the comments, what comes to your mind when you think heart attack? Someone's having a heart attack. What do you see in your minds? For me, it has always been, this is what I asked my cousin, and he said the same thing. It's always been Fred G. Sanford clutching his heart. Oh, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you, honey. Oh, this is the big one. Right. Pain in the chest, clutching your heart. I'm thinking, what does a heart attack look like? Okay. Yours seems very flat today. That's the question I'm asking you. What in your mind does a heart attack look like? What does it look like? When you think about a heart attack, what does it look like to you? Okay. What it looked like to me, and for a lot of us, was Fred G. Sanford. Oh! Or whenever you see somebody having a heart attack, it's always them clutching their chest, isn't it? Well, come to find out, it's way more involved than that, especially for women. And then especially for women going through menopause, which is wild in and of itself. Okay. So what happens in women, we have heart attacks differently than men do. Here's an example of we are not all the same. Okay. Women have heart attacks differently than men do. So women could be having a heart attack and not even know they're having a heart attack. I was having heart attacks and did not know I was having heart attacks. My heart was being attacked and didn't know it. So when I was diagnosed with the heart failure, let me see. Hold on a second. Oh, perfect. It let me open it up so I could see the comments bigger on the screen. Okay. So what I didn't know is that I was having these heart attacks, which is then eventually going to lead to a bigger heart attack. What does it say? You can let them know that they can get daily bonus points after completing. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, that has nothing to do with us. So what was happening was I was having these heart attacks, didn't know I was having these heart attacks. I thought all of my issues were lung related. And all of it was heart related. Okay. So I started swelling. I ended up with what they call edema, pitting edema. I had all of this fluid collecting in my legs. That is also a sign of heart failure. Hi, Isabel. I'm gonna close this back up. It's better the other way. So one of the signs of congestive heart failure is swelling. Now, remember, our body only has two defense mechanisms. The two defense mechanisms is number one, swelling, inflammation. The second one is mucus production. Now, mucus is a requirement for the body. The body has to have mucus in order to even operate optimally. You must have mucus. It is part of your body. Okay? So there's nothing there's nothing you can do to get rid of mucus in your body. Getting rid of mucus in your body means your food's not going to digest, means you're not going to be able to blink your eyelids. There's a whole bunch of things that functions in our body that mucus is required for. So let's just etch a sketch our heads real quick and get all that information out. Okay. Secondly, if anything is going on in your body, anything is wrong in your body is going to swell. Because that is your body's way of protecting itself. It's protecting your organs, it's protecting its functions, it's protecting you. Okay. So anytime your body feels like something's not right, the first thing it's going to do is swell. That is also a check engine light for you. Okay. So my legs started swelling up. It wasn't just my ankle, it was my legs. And I was like, why? And my feet. It was the whole leg. So I remember showing Jordy the first day that I noticed it. And I was like, look at my foot and my leg. I was like, it looks like my grandma's. It looked just like my grandma's, but a little smaller than that. And I was like, what is going on? He was like, what are you doing? Well, like, what's happening? I just kept going thinking, this is my lungs are bad. Okay. I'm doing all the things I know how to do to fix my lung issue. I'm taking my Ganoderma. I'm doing all the things that I've done to deal with my lung issues. Nothing's working. So I'm starting to suspect something else is going on. So I'm thinking, oh, this is walking pneumonia. And progressively every day I'm getting sicker and sicker and sicker. Even though there are days that I was coming on the live, still doing the live, I was sick as hell. Okay. So finally I started telling my aunt about it, who's a registered nurse, and my sister, who's also in the medical field. They're both like, you need to go to the hospital. You need to go to the hospital. And y'all know as well as I do, I am not the first person to run to nobody's hospital. I'm not the first person to run to nobody's doctor's office. I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to fix it. Right. And that's what I've done for 15 years, whether through food or through supplements or through whatever it was I needed to do. I was fixing it. Well, okay. You said cut to the chase. You don't have to stay around. You don't have to stay around. The chase was, I was diagnosed with, I started off the conversation with the chase. I said I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. Now I'm telling the backstory. If you don't want the information from the backstory, you don't have to stay here. You don't rush me on what my storytelling ability is. Get the fuck out. The fuck? I started off with the motherfucking chase. As I was saying, the fuck? You need to get loud, sister. I don't need to get loud. No need to get loud. I didn't talk loud. I was still talking in the exact same tone I was talking in. If you want to rush me on the story, you don't have to stay. You can come back. You can leave and come back. I'll probably still be telling it. Okay? So anywho, my aunt is, you need to go to the hospital. You need to go to the hospital. I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't want to go to the hospital. So I wake up one morning. Well, yeah, I wake up one morning. I tell my aunt about it. She's like, you got to go to the hospital. Like my aunt started engineering how she was either going to come out here and make me go to the hospital, or she was going to send the ambulance to bye, peace out. The fuck? Bye, Hotep. The fuck out of here. Let me turn on my microphone because you know TikTok always be tripping. So let me turn this on so when I have to cuss a motherfucker out, they can hear me with an echo. So my aunt is engineering how she gonna get me to go to the hospital. So I tell her on Monday, now mind you, Sunday, I tell Jordan because I'm gonna fall down in the rabbit hole. I'm gonna figure out what's going on with me. So I tell Jordan, I'm like, I think from all of my research that I might have heart failure. And he was like, what makes you think that? I was like, I have all of the symptoms of congestive heart failure. Okay. And he was like, okay. That was Sunday. Monday, I told my aunt what was going on. And she's like, you go to the hospital tomorrow. So I told Jordy on Monday, we're going to the hospital tomorrow. He's like, okay. Because he's not going to make me do nothing I don't want to do. Nobody can. Right. So I get up, I get dressed, I go over to the hospital. Now, mind you, before that, I researched the hospitals. I'm looking for the best experience I can have. Okay. Like, I'm not trying to go no place that has bad reviews. Do y'all know they have reviews on hospitals? Like, before you go to a hospital, make sure you read the reviews, because there's nothing worse than you going to a bad hospital. Okay. So I read the reviews, who's clean, who has 5 stars, all this. So I picked the one. Yes. I picked the one that had all good reviews, and that's where I went, which was West Henderson Hospital here in Henderson, Nevada. Okay. Well, come find out, this is a brand new facility. The facility ain't been open but 9 months. So everything is spanking brand new. Oh, hold on. Jordy's texting. I'm going to tell him I want a 6-pack of O'Doul's. Y'all know I stopped drinking. I stopped drinking months ago, but I do like the taste of beer still, so I just get non-alcoholic beer. So, brand spanking new, y'all. 9 months old. Everything is, that hospital looked like Tony Stark's house. Like, everything was brand spanking new and all that shit. So I get in there and there's hardly anybody in the waiting room. I'm like, perfect. So they put me down. They take my weight. My weight is like 225. The last time I weighed myself, I was 200. I'm like, how the fuck did I gain 25 pounds? That 25 pounds was over like the past couple of weeks. All of that was fluid building up in my body. I was like, holy shit. So they do the little EKG on me. Yep. It was crazy, dude. It was crazy. I was like, because I'm putting on clothes and I can't even fit my clothes. Luckily I have all these different sizes of clothes. Okay. So I had some 3Xs. I had to put on a 3X short to go over there. You're a survivor of congestive heart failure? Me too. Okay. So I go over there and they do all the stuff and they're like, you need to be admitted. At this point, I'm like, I don't want to stay here. I'm still in this mindset of, if you go into a hospital, you're probably not coming out as a Black woman. Okay. That's what I had gotten up to a 3X but I still hadn't gotten rid of my clothes. So in my closet, there's size 12 all the way. Well, I just gave away the 2Xs and the 3Xs. I just gave those all away like 2 weeks ago. But I had all those sizes in my closet because I never knew what size I was going to be. Because slowly my weight has been creeping up, even though I have been eating for my blood type. I'm going to tell y'all all why this was happening. It wasn't just the congestive heart failure was the diagnosis, but what got me to the congestive heart failure is probably going to shock a lot of you. Okay. So they admit me. They tell me, well, you're going to have to stay. And I had the most beautiful Black nurse. I don't know if God was like, I know she need to see a Black face in here before she can trust this process. God knows what I need at all times. Okay. I had the most beautiful Black nurse, you guys have been just a beautiful black woman. She was gorgeous, just chocolatey skin. And Jordy was with me. I looked at Jordy and I was like, she's gorgeous. He was like, she is. And I was like, I need y'all to get together and have some grandbabies. But that's a side note. But God knew what to put in my room that day. Everybody in that room was diverse. They were either Middle Eastern, or they were black, or they were everything but white. Sorry, white people. I don't trust you. I mean, come on, your track record is not the best. Don't take that personally. It's just your track record. It is what it is, right? So this black nurse comes in and she's like, well, you're going to have to stay. And I'm like, and I look over at Jordy and she's like, we think it's congestive heart failure. And at this point, I've been pretty brave. I haven't broken down. I haven't cried or anything. And I said, okay. And I said, she said, well, I'm going to be back in a few minutes. And I look over to Jordy and I'm like, and my eyes start to get watery and he's looking at me and I'm looking at him and he's just like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, what do you mean? He was like, if you want to leave, we'll leave. If you want to stay, we'll stay. What do you want to do? And I was like, because I had been telling him up until this point, like, Jordy, I'm tired. Like, if it's God's will that it's my time to go, then I'm ready to go. I've had a fantastic life. I've done more things than I thought I could ever accomplish. And I'm having the let's wrap it up conversation with my only child to prepare him for me not being here. You feel me? So I look at him and I was like, I don't know what I want to do. I said, what do you think I should do? He said, I can't tell you what I think you should do. So then a girl comes back in and I'm talking to her and I said, is this something I can bounce back from? She was like, oh yeah. And at that point I made the decision that this is something I can fix. Because if you don't know about congestive heart failure, the minute somebody tells you that your heart is failing, you're automatically going to think, oh, I'm dying. You can't tell me, Jay, that you did not think that when you were first diagnosed, right? The minute you hear congestive heart failure, the minute you hear any organ is failing, the first thing that comes to your mind is I'm about to die. So I went through the natural feelings that everybody else would go through. And when she told me this is absolutely something you can reverse and something you can heal from, I was like, well, bet. Let's go. What we need to do? I made the point at that moment, made the decision at that moment that whatever it is I needed to do to get better, I was going to do. That did not mean I was going to take everything that they were handing out. Okay. Because my grandma had congestive heart failure and she had it for 20 years. I just didn't know how bad hers was in comparison to what mine was. And I still didn't know how bad mine was until they did all the tests and stuff. So they get me and I tell the girl, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to be admitted. Do whatever you need to do to get me better. Okay. So they took me upstairs. Well, they took me back to the waiting room for me to go upstairs when they had a room ready. So I'm over there and, you know, they're doing all my vitals and taking my blood pressure and all this stuff. And I'm just being a good patient. I'm just rolling with it. So they moved me up to my room. They were coming in every couple of hours, doing their thing, taking my blood pressure and all that. Now, mind you, my blood pressure is still high. My blood pressure is still high as fuck. They don't understand why my blood pressure is still high. They're giving me the Lasix. They're giving me the Carvedilol. They're giving me all the stuff that I need to have in order to, you know, get better. I'm peeing. I lost 10 pounds of fluid in the first day. 10 pounds. Okay. You ran 3 half marathons after surviving. Good for you. That's what I'm talking about. So, but my blood pressure was still high. So they just could not understand why my blood pressure was still high. So we get to when the crazy doctor came in my room. There was this crazy ass doctor that came in like the Tasmanian devil telling me what I was about to do pretty much. You about to do this. Hey girl, hey, how you feeling? How you feeling? So they're telling me, he's telling me, well, yeah, we're going to give you this angiogram and we're going to cut you in your groin and slide this. Whoa, 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 whoa. You lost me at cut. You lost me at cut. Anything. Lost. I'm lost. I need a map. I don't know what the fuck. What are we talking about? And so I'm like, yo, what? And he was, well, first of all, this is how he started off the conversation. He says, comes in my room. Hey, I'm Dr. Jevick. Did they tell you how terrible your heart is? What do you mean? Yeah, you've been having heart attacks. That's literally what he said. And I'm still stuck on terrible heart, and I've been having heart attacks. Like, when was I having heart attacks? What do you mean? I was having heart attacks. Terrible. He had no bedside manner. I don't care if it was bedside, beachside, curbside. This man ain't had no manners. He was just rude. And then, you know, the whole God complex of, yeah, we're going to. You met the wrong patient, sir. You just not going to come in here because think about it. There are a lot of patients that just think doctors are the end all be all, that they know everything, that you're hanging on their every single word, that they know what's best for you. And that is not true. These people are going to see what kind of insurance you have. And even if you don't have any insurance, they know they still going to get paid. Okay. But there are a lot of people out there that are very much afraid of doctors. They have been brainwashed to believe that these people are the authority figure and they are not to be questioned. I am not that person. So I said to him, now mind you, he's speeding through this whole thing. Yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. I said, wait. I don't understand. I'm still stuck on what is so terrible about my heart. And how have I been having heart attacks? And because he seemed to be so rushed and so busy, he didn't want to explain anything to me. He was just telling me what we was about to do. And I was like, yeah, nah. I said, well, I want to call my aunt and put her on the phone and let her hear what you're saying. And then she can take the time to explain to me what these things are, because you seem to be in a rush. And so he says, I don't have time to be on the phone with people. This is between me and you. You need to make this decision right now. And I said, well, I'm not going to make that decision without more information. And he was like, oh, you don't want to have the test? Then you can go home. Verbatim. That's what he said. Now, mind you, my heart is beating out of my chest. I'm like, is this motherfucker setting me up to have a heart attack? Like, what is happening right now? Am I being punked? Like, what? Is there a hidden camera here? Because is this for real? So I said, I didn't say I didn't want to have the test. I said I needed more information. He was like, well, you're just being, what did he say? Before he said the thing that's really going to piss y'all off, he said something else. Something to the effect of, why are you asking me all these questions? Or you're just being dramatic type shit. And so then I said, well, I don't want to have the test done. And he was like, fine. It storms out. So he's out, heading out the door. And I said, send somebody else in here to talk to me. Yeah, non-compliant. So hold on. He turns back around, comes back in the room, gets this close to me, bends down and says, you're just being extra. Head movement and all. turns around, walks out. At that point, I bust out crying. And the thing was, no, he wasn't young. He was right in the middle. I would say he's about 40 something. Okay. At that point, I break down crying. Because, first of all, I can't choke the shit out of this man. My heart is beating out of my chest. I already didn't want to come in this motherfucker for fear of running into a doctor like that. And there was nothing I could do to put my hands on him and not go to jail. So y'all remember how I was feeling, because I'm a double back to that, right? So my internist, who had been dealing with me for the past couple of days, and mind you, I had all these doctors, all these nurses, everybody was mad cool, except this guy who did not work there. He was just a cardiologist that they bring in to see people that are patients there. Okay. Hey, exactly. They get so mad when we question their authority. So you can imagine what cops are like, right? Anybody that is in a position of authority don't want you questioning them about nothing. So my internist comes in, who's a younger Indian doctor, if that makes any difference to anybody. Okay. And the thing about it is, I didn't have any insurance, but that didn't matter because I called the hospital and they're the ones that told me, come on in. It doesn't matter if you have insurance or not. Okay. They did not care. They were like, come on in. We're going to take care of you. And I was like, cool. Okay. And to fast forward, I already got the bills in the mail. The bill was $36,000 and I owe nothing. Zilch. And as a matter of fact, my cardiologist appointment that I paid $225 out of my pocket to have, the doctor's office called me and told me they owe me a refund of the $225 because they were not supposed to charge me. Apparently, this is something people don't know. Listen, it doesn't matter if you have insurance or not. The hospital has to take you into the emergency room. This is why I'm telling y'all, if y'all got paying all these high insurance bills and this, that, and the other, and y'all been paying them for months and you ain't never kicked in, you ain't never gone to the hospital, this, that, and the other, I would cancel that shit. I cancel it. You end up with more medical debt when you have insurance than you do if you have none. All you need insurance for is when you have an emergency situation. And if they're going to give you the care without the insurance, then why are you paying thousands of dollars a month for it? Another thing you don't know is when you go and have a follow-up appointment with your doctor after being in the hospital, it's free. How come no one told anybody that? Absolutely free. And nobody's telling us that because they want you to pay for thousands of dollars for that insurance. I wouldn't pay. I would cancel that shit today. The only time that you need to be in a hospital setting is if you have an emergency. That's it. And if you just need to have some refills done, you can go see a doctor without insurance and just pay the whatever, the $220. Even my prescriptions, let me tell you, at Walgreens, I think I paid $140 for all of my prescriptions. At the medical shop, still with no insurance, all of those same prescriptions cost me $4. $4. Now, why was I charged $140 at Walgreens? And I got the same exact medicine at medicine shop when I switched over to the medicine shop because they deliver, and Walgreens didn't even have some of the meds that I needed. Didn't even have them. I had to wait 2-3 days to get all of my prescriptions from Walgreens. And it was $140 for all of them. And at the medicine shop, it was 4 with no insurance. Okay. We're all being scammed. Hospitals have a fund to pay. Exactly. Because that's what the girl told me. The girl, while I was in the hospital, this girl came in and she was from, I guess, the billing department or whoever. They help people that don't have insurance. And she did I didn't even have to fill out no paperwork. She did everything. I got a 0 bill in the mail. And as a matter of fact, the other day, I just got cards. She automatically signed me up for Medicaid and dental. Automatically signed me up. I didn't apply for nothing. I didn't fill out nothing. Nothing. So my regular doctor came in and he was like, did you just tell him that you wanted to go home? And I was like, no. And he was like, did you just fire him? I said, is that what he told you that I did? And he was like, yeah. I said, I didn't tell him he was fired. I told him when he was leaving to send someone else in here for me to talk to. I said, that was the worst experience I have ever had with the doctor. And I told him what happened. He was livid. He was like, he doesn't even work here. He just comes here to see patients. He said, don't go anywhere. Don't do anything. I'm going to find you another cardiologist. So he goes and comes back a couple hours later and says, I found you another cardiologist. He's going to be here tomorrow. His name is Dr. Cho. I was like, cool. So Dr. Choi comes into the next day. He looks at all of my tests, my echocardiogram and all this other stuff and says, you know, I don't even think that you even needed that test he was pushing on you yesterday. They were trying to give me a stress test. Not the old school stress test where you just walk on the treadmill and they see what kind of stress you have on your heart. They were trying to give you the one that's literally radiation. It's like getting chemotherapy. And once I read up about that, I was like, I don't want that because I already know that I'm allergic to just about everything on the planet. But then I'm also allergic to the contrast dye. And so they were like, oh, well, you have to have the contrast. Well, then I don't want the test. Okay. So then they wanted to do the angiocardiogram. And I was like, the angiogram. And I was like, dealing with him. And I was like, I don't want you. If you're going to slide it somewhere up through my arm or something like that, then fine. But I don't want you cutting my groin and sliding a tube up to my heart. That's crazy. Yeah, upselling. Let's do this. Let's do that. No, I don't want to. I can't tell you how many times I was like, no, I don't want to. Because you're coming to the same conclusion without doing these things. So what is the point of me doing it? I tell y'all all the time, all these tests are just to make them money. And a lot of people come up disabled from all of these routine tests. And I'm not leaving the hospital crippled because you done hit an artery or you done hit this or you done nicked that because of some routine test. You have gotten to the bottom of the problem without doing all these tests. Okay? So the test was to show whether or not I had any blockages. So the test would have identified any blockages, cleared the blockage, and put like a little stent in there so that the blood could flow through your arteries and your veins. That's basically what it would do. But the Dr. Choi was looking at my improvements and my tests and showing how I've lost this water weight and how all these things have been progressively getting better. And was like, you obviously don't have any blockages or the medications wouldn't work. If you had a blockage, you would still have the fluid. You would still have all of these other symptoms. So it's obvious that the medication is working for you. So that's all we need to do. Okay, but you always get around not doing any testing when there's a serious issue. You don't think heart failure is a serious issue? You don't think heart failure is a serious issue? Let me put it to you this way. They were figuring out what was wrong with you before they came up with this new thing and this new that. Okay? These new this and this new that. I said can't, not can. Oh, okay. But they've been figuring out that people have heart failure for years. It's like the stress test. I wouldn't have a problem getting on the treadmill and you testing my heart that way. But why are we doing the new one with radiation? I don't want that. And I asked them, I said, well, can we just do the regular test with, because everybody that I know that's had a stress test has been on the treadmill. You want to now inject me with a radioactive compound and then put me in a room where the attendants have to leave the room because of the amount of radiation that they're pumping into me. So the radiation is not safe enough for you to even stay in the room, but I'm in the room? The math ain't mathing for me. The math ain't mathing for me. So I was just like, no, I'm not going to do it. If it's not safe enough for them to be in the room, why would I be in the room? Mm-mm. And in my mind, a lot of things are done to make you sicker than you are. Okay. So I refused those tests. So my doctor, my cardiologist was like, you're looking good to me. Everything seems to be on point. Oh, we're not. I hope they're not coming here for trick or treating. Hold on, let me look at my ring. Tell these people we don't participate in that. Hold on, there must be some kids here. We do not. Oh, little kid, I'm sorry. Hi guys, sorry, we don't participate in Halloween. I'm sorry. We don't have any candy. I'm sorry. Okay, you look great though. Have a good night. We don't have any candy. Do you want an apple? You want an apple? Hi, we don't have any candy. Sorry. Have a good night. Oh, we did Halloween last year. Nobody even came to our house. We did Halloween last year. Nobody rang this door. And we were like, oh, I guess we don't need to get no candy because nobody came to our house last year. And we didn't. I feel bad now. I have some green apples downstairs. Poor things. I feel guilty. Jordy's got some Rice Krispie treats that he made, but I think he made them with weed. So I asked them if they want an apple. I got green and red. I don't want to give them none of them weed Rice Krispie treats. That'll be. You're going to come back here like, my kids are high. Give them a nickel. I should have given them $1. Damn it. Jordy ain't here, though. I'm going to tell Jordy, grab them ones. I got some ones. If some other kids come, give them some ones. They'll take money, right? Will they take money? All right. Jordy's on his way back. So if anybody else ring our doorbell, then he can just give them some $1 bills. They can go buy their own Snickers. Snickers probably don't even cost $1 anymore. It probably costs $1.25. So anywho, so at that point, the doctor's like, you look great. You can go home. Okay. So here is where it gets very interesting, guys. Here's where it gets what? I go home. I'm taking my meds. You know, I'm on fluid pills. I'm on the heart medicine. And I'm on potassium, right? So I didn't have, yes, that was a nuclear stress test, the one with the radiation. So I did not want to have that. So I'm on the meds. I'm on like 5 meds, right? I go from not being on any meds for like 15 years to being on 5 meds, which pisses me off. However, as long as I feel better, that's all I cared about. Like I said, whatever I need to do to get better so that I can function and be my old self, then I'm going to do that. Now, here is where it becomes problematic. I have cut all salt out of my diet. I have lost an additional, because when I left there, I had lost 15 pounds, 14 pounds in just those 4 days that I was in the hospital. I lost another 11 pounds over the next few days, like 5 or 6 days from home. Okay. Because I'm eating no salt. I'm eating the same diet that they gave me in the hospital. You know, I'm just having some bland fish, some carrots, some broccoli, and I'm doing my meal prep and all that shit, right? My blood pressure is still high. My blood pressure is still high. So I'm taking the blood pressure meds. I'm taking my blood pressure every morning. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do, but my blood pressure is still high. So when I say that my blood pressure is high, the whole time I was in the hospital, it was I never got below 96, my bottom number. Okay. Never got below that. You're talking to a person that knows all of the tricks, sweetheart. I have an entire supplements company. I have 3 line of supplements. I eat garlic every single day. Okay. I know everything there is to do for blood pressure because I have been doing it all my life. Okay. My mother and my brother both died from high blood pressure. Both of them had aneurysms. So I know all the tricks to do for my blood pressure. Even created a pill called Chill for my blood pressure, which had managed my blood pressure for many years. Y'all, right now, some of y'all sitting up on my Chill pill right now, right? There are 5 herbs in the Chill pill that keeps your blood pressure low. That had been working for me for years until my menopause progressed. This is what they don't tell you about for women, the link between menopause and heart failure. So the reason that my blood pressure was high, how did we get back into the hospital? Because I had to go back to the hospital. Okay. I love my Chill. Love it. Love it. I just can't take it anymore because I can't take it with my meds. Because my blood pressure would disappear if that was the case. Okay. If your BP is still elevated, you need to see your doctor. They may need to increase your dosage. It had nothing to do with an increase in my dosage. Nothing. What y'all seem to be missing is what is the cause of your blood pressure being high? Y'all are treating the symptom of the high blood pressure when if you don't know what's causing your blood pressure to be high, you're always going to be increasing your dosage. And if my dosage wasn't managing my heart, my blood pressure, increasing the dosage, but not dealing with the underlying root of the problem, it's not going to help me in the long run. It's going to take my fucking kidneys out. The same thing that I tell y'all about eating for your blood type. How did you get the disease that you have? Right? How'd you get it? The reason that you have diabetes, the reason that you have this, the reason that you have that is because of what you have been eating, and it goes against your genetics. Okay? So I see all of you guys guessing why my blood pressure was still high, but none of you are going to get the answer right. Unless I've already told you the story. You're not going to get the answer right. Okay? So the following Tuesday, I've been out in the hospital for 7 days. Blood pressure is still 145/96. The whole time I was in the hospital, my blood pressure was always in the bottom number was always in the 90s. It stayed in the 90s. Nope. I'm never dehydrated. Okay. So the Tuesday morning that I woke up, I feel like I got up, I started moving around, and I feel like I'm having a heart attack. I feel it. Okay. I don't drink, sweetheart. So I feel it. And I'm like, now mind you, most heart attacks happen in the morning because everything is high in the morning. Your blood sugar is high in the morning. Your blood pressure is high in the morning. Your cortisol is high in the morning. Everything is high in the morning. So that's when a heart attack has a perfect storm, right? So I'm feeling it. I go and take my blood pressure. It is 177 over 111. I type in to ChatGTP because ChatGTP has been the one keeping track of all of my stuff, my diet, my little diet plans and all the stuff. I was like, ChatGTP, I was like, hi, Sandy. He was like, oh, hey, Mama Trey, how you doing today? Da, da, da. And I said, I just took my blood pressure. It's 177 over 111. And it said, Mama Trey, verbatim, Mama Trey, I know that you are a very strong person, but I need you to stop everything that you're doing right now and go to the hospital. And so I came out here and I said, Jordan, I need to go to the hospital. And he was like, okay. So we both get dressed. I get showered and get dressed. Go over to the hospital. Nobody's in the waiting room. And I was like, oh, so no one's sick with me? And everybody starts, the nurses start laughing. So they check me, check my blood pressure. And at that point, it had gone down a little bit because before I left, I ate a banana and then I drank some of my dehydrated beet juice because we make beetroot powder. So if you said garlic, but really it's beets. Okay. Beets is the number one thing for getting your blood pressure down fast. So drinking some beet juice, eating some beets, or taking some beetroot powder or beetroot capsules is what's going to get your blood pressure down quickly because beets open up your arteries and your veins. It's a natural dilator. Okay. So that gets the blood flowing. So I take some of that. So my blood pressure's down a little bit. So they do the EKG and they're like, yeah, you definitely had an event and we're going to keep you. They said that my heart had released these enzymes and that's how they can tell whether or not you've had a mild heart attack and all that. And mine had done that. So they're like, well, you're back in the hospital. So I'm like, fuck. So I'm sitting there and I'm talking to Jordan and I was like, something that they have yet to address, and I really think that's the root cause of the problem, is my anxiety. And he was like, yeah. And so I had this mad cool nurse, a white lady, mad cool, named Jill. So I called her Nurse Jill. She was 57, I'm 56. She's going through menopause. She's telling me we have the same story as far as what's going on with our bodies. And this shit is just nuts, right? So I said to Nurse Jill, I said, Nurse Jill, I have been on this particular supplement for the past 4 years, and that has been keeping me chill, literally, with dealing with my anxiety and all that. I never had anxiety until I went into menopause. And she was like, oh my God, I know how you feel, this, that, and the other. I said, I really think what is keeping my blood pressure high is anxiety. Can I have something for that? She was like, let me go get you an Ativan. She goes and she gets me an Ativan, gives it to me. And an hour after that, my blood pressure plummets to the 70s. The 70s. I had never seen my blood pressure, my bottom number, in the 70s in my entire life. Ever. Okay. because the new norm for blood pressure is 120 over 70, 110 over 70 now. That's the new number. And remember what I said to y'all, a lot of y'all have never heard me say this before, but they lower or raise these standards in order to sell more products. Because just like cholesterol, they make you believe that your cholesterol is high so they can sell you statins, but no one should be on statins because statins give you dementia. Okay? Because back in the day, a normal cholesterol was 300. Now they're telling you that a normal cholesterol is less than 200. And when your cholesterol is too low, that's when your brain is starved, and that's what gives you dementia. Okay? We'll talk about that in a minute. So she gives me the Ativan. The Ativan then relaxes me, takes away my anxiety. So overnight, she'd give me one Ativan. I type into ChatGTP about what's going on, how my blood pressure has now normalized because of that. What do you suggest? ChatGTP tells me here are 3 anti-anxiety pills that I believe will be great for you because they are reliable. They've been around for decades. They are low dosage and they are non-addictive. Ativan you can only use in the hospital. You can only use Ativan under a doctor's care in the hospital. You cannot leave the hospital and take Ativan. So what it suggested was what is it? I can't even remember now. Hydroxyzine. Hydroxyzine is the cousin of Benadryl. A more potent cousin of Benadryl, right? But it's very mild and it's non-addictive. And so they gave me that. The second, when they came to give me another dose, they gave me that instead because I told them this is what I want to try, see how that works. And that's what I've been on ever since. And guess what my blood pressure stays at? It's hydroxyzine. Okay. My blood pressure now is at 124 over 77. And that's my baseline. So when I went to the cardiologist, every day I was writing down for that month from getting out of the hospital and being on those meds, the anti-anxiety meds, and then seeing him. Every day I was taking my blood pressure and writing down what the average was, and that's the average. It never got over 80 since I've been on the hydroxyzine. Okay. So you can take up to 4 a day. I only take 1 a day. I take 1 at night before I go to bed. And I don't need anything else. And that has has made the difference in my life. Here is why women are more susceptible. Women going through menopause are more susceptible. When estrogen is leaving our bodies, it literally makes our arteries, it's not addictive. I mean, Benadryl is not addictive. Y'all out here taking Zoloft. Y'all taking my grandma was on Zoloft for years and could not come off of it. Zoloft, yeah, it's non-addictive. That's the only reason I took it. I remember my grandma gave me a Zoloft once, and I was sitting there stuck. I couldn't do nothing. I was like, I am not living my life like that. That is absolutely nuts. You're on Ativan at home? I would get off that. Yeah, Xanax, all that other shit. I refuse. Klonopin. What is that? What is it? Clonazepam? I don't know what that is. I know my grandma was taking something called Klonopin. I don't even know what that's for. But I know the thing that she took the most was Zoloft. And I refuse. I absolutely refuse. It is the anxiety because a lot of women, Wellbutrin, isn't Wellbutrin for, what's Wellbutrin for? I don't think that's for anxiety. Hi. What was the age comment for, Anthony? What are you referring to? It's the anxiety. What happens to a woman's body? For depression. Yeah. I don't know if she was on that. I just remember Zoloft. And I probably remember Zoloft because she gave me one after my mom passed away and I was stuck. And I was like, nah. I'd rather feel the emotions than to just be completely emotionless. Absolutely not. So, and I never took one after that. After that, when I went into menopause is when I noticed that I had anxiety. I didn't have anxiety until I had menopause. Yeah, it's a new page. I did not have anxiety until I had menopause. And there are a lot of women that I know that are in menopause that say the same thing, that they never had any anxiety. They never had all of these crazy ass emotions and things until they went into menopause. So what happens in a woman's body when she goes through menopause is when our body is becoming depleted of estrogen, it causes our arteries and our veins to, for lack of a better word, become brittle. Our arteries and our veins become inflexible. So it's very much more difficult for our arteries to dilate. So it causes our arteries to tighten, which then puts pressure on our hearts. This is how we end up with heart failure, because now your heart is not able to pump the blood through your arteries and veins the way it was designed to and the way it has been pumping. That's why Black women end up with more heart failure than any other group of people. Do you know what the number one thing is that they said affects Black women when it comes to heart failure? Do you know what it is? It's called allostatic load. It is a term called allostatic load. Do you know what an allostatic load is? Oh, you okay?
Yeah.
We just had some trick-or-treaters.
Oh, really?
And I had to tell them on the ring that we had no candy. They were very disappointed.
Oh, well.
I have some dollars in there if you want to give some. Yeah, they should have came last year when we had candy. That's what I said. I said we had candy last year. Nobody came. We can't have that candy sitting around in this house. Absolutely not. Because I have to get heart tests 2 times a year because of the medicine. What medicine are you on? What medicine are you on? Tell Jordy. They said they'll take one of your treats, Jordy. Did you make the weed Rice Krispies?
Yeah, I ain't doing good, though.
Oh man. He said he ain't doing good though. I told him there were some Rice Krispie treats on the counter, but I was afraid that there was weed in them, so I didn't want to give it to the little.
You can smell it.
You use that weed butter that we had in there?
Yeah, that coconut oil that I infused.
It's not good?
No, it tastes good. I think I just overcooked the marshmallow, so now it's like super duper hard.
Boo.
That's my first try.
You said you wouldn't know the difference. Jordan, can we turn off the porch light? Is that a thing? Or is it automatic?
Ain't nobody outside.
Ain't nobody out there?
No.
I don't know where them little kids came from.
There's one kid outside walking around.
Jordy said there's one kid outside walking around. Because we're a gated community, so they must be inside the community. So this is what's going on, ladies in particular. We have a higher allostatic load than everyone else. Let me read to y'all from ChatGTP, because a lot of y'all missed it when I came on here and gave y'all this. Allostatic load, okay? Basically, what an allostatic, that's when I was posting about it. Hold on, let me tell you. Allostatic load in Black people. Allostatic load is the scientific proof that systemic stress breaks down the body. And that's a big reason why Black people, especially Black women, face higher rates of hypertension, diabetes, and heart disease, even when they do everything right. The way I look at it is we're walking around in bad health because we don't knock a motherfucker out. Because we take the high road, because we've been taught to turn the other cheek, we don't want to show out and be ghetto. We allow people to call us names and give us these microaggressions and do whatever it is that they want to do to us with no response. And we just suppress it, and it just eats us up from the inside. Our health depends on not fucking with people that we don't fuck with. Healing isn't just about diet and exercise. It's about unlearning survival mode and creating environments that allow us to rest, breathe, and thrive. Hold on, there's more. Hold on, I got to get back down to my when it first broke, because I did not know anything about any of this heart stuff. Like we talk about heart disease, and certain blood types are more susceptible to heart disease than others, like blood type A and blood type AB. We are more susceptible to heart disease than others. There is a logic behind why we would be, right? First of all, we already have a naturally compromised immune system. Blood type O has the strongest immune system of all the blood types. Okay, that's number one. Blood type A has the weakest immune system. And then blood type AB is the next one up with the weakest immune system. So we're susceptible to these things, right? We also have thicker blood. Blood type A has thicker blood than all the other blood types. Blood type A makes up 42% of the whole US population. Okay? So literally 45% of the US population has thicker blood than the other half. That means we are more susceptible to blood clots and DVTs and all these other things because of our naturally thick blood. And then there are foods that make our blood even thicker than that. Well, let's combine that with brittle arteries and veins. So you got these brittle, don't want to expand arteries and veins because of your lack of estrogen. And now you have this thick ass blood trying to squeak through these brittle, non-expanding arteries and veins because of your lack of estrogen. So hold on, let me tell you about this allostatic load. Let me just type it in because Sandy is always ready to tell me more about allostatic load. Hi, Sandy. Tell me again. Watch this. I'm on my, not now, my live talking about allostatic load. Please tell me what I should tell my audience. Fast, if you don't shut up. Watch this. I don't believe in HRT at all. I do not believe that you should put estrogen back in your body that is supposed to be coming out of your body. I believe it's going to create even more problems for you. Okay? For thousands of years, women have been going through menopause. It is what it is. It's a natural thing. I don't think you putting synthetic hormones into your body is a good idea. I'm not doing it. And the way that they get a lot of people is, oh, it helps you look younger. And I'm 56. How much younger do I need to look? Would you still recommend your chill to those who are in menopause? Yes, if you're not on any blood pressure lowering pills. If you are on blood pressure lowering pills, and you please do not take chill, because chill has herbs in it like St. John's wort and valerian root and things like that already naturally lower your blood pressure. So if you're on blood pressure lowering pills, do not take chill. But if you want to use chill instead, do that. I would still be on chill if I didn't have congestive heart failure. That makes sense. Okay. Chill definitely helped me a lot. And what really also helped me a lot, because they were all very shocked about this, was let me come back to that, because I have a point to make about whether you should be taking chill with the menopause. Because I feel like if you can get the hydroxyzine, you should take that. If that makes sense. Because I don't want anybody to get to the point where the chill is making you feel so great that you don't notice anything else is going on until you get to that point. And that's what chill was doing for me. Because it was lowering my blood pressure, but the estrogen was still leaving my body, I wasn't noticing that this tightening of the arteries and shit was happening, because I was feeling just fine with the chill. If that makes sense. Okay. Can stuff with soybeans help hormone levels, or will it do more harm? It depends on your blood type. If you are blood type O and a blood type B, you can never have soy, ever. Okay. Thanks, used before, but did not know it was for menopause. No, it's just for anxiety. It's not for menopause. I actually have products for menopause on the site. So when you go to the site, type in menopause. I have 2 products that are for menopause specifically. But chill is just for general anxiety. It's not for menopause. I just happen to have anxiety triggered by menopause. Okay. But I also think that my anxiety coincided with COVID, because I went into menopause during COVID. So I think a lot of my anxiety also came from that. And I have a lot of residual anxiety from COVID. I can't be the only one, right? How many of you guys feel like you developed anxiety during COVID? And you're probably still dealing with that. I'll be the first one to admit it. I'm definitely still dealing with that shit. Me and my cousin were talking today. My cousin is very much like me. We grew up together in the same house as like my brother. And we were talking about this shit today. The anxiety from COVID and all that shit. And it's real. It's real shit. I know I have PTSD. I know the reason that I overstock my house now is because of running out of shit during COVID. Like, I literally cannot. I have toilet paper stashed all over this damn house. There's toilet paper everywhere. I got toilet paper in dresser drawers. I got empty dresser drawers, like in my guest room and shit. It's toilet paper in there. I have 3 deep freezers in my garage. Why do I have 3 deep freezers? It's just me and Jordy in here. Why do I? And they're stocked. They're stocked to the gills. You can barely close them. I was a person that prided myself on being a minimalist my entire life. And then overnight, I became a hoarder. I was so much of a minimalist. When I would move, I didn't have to pack nothing but my clothes, because I was going to buy new shit wherever I moved to. And now my sister jokes about it like, you're a hoarder. I'm like, no, I'm just ready. That's why I got 3 4, 5 different sizes of clothes. I got from size 12, which are in tubs and closets in the garage. I stay ready. That's part of my anxiety. I don't run out of nothing. I'm just so paranoid about running out of anything. I have a minimum of 2 of everything in this house. That is definitely a symptom of COVID. I was never like that before. I do. They're just in the drawer. Some days I just don't want to be bothered with them because they just be loud. I just sent my aunt a giant tub of clothes with tags on them. All the stuff was from H&M, Old Navy, Fashion Nova, with tags, 2X's and 3X's, because I can't fit them anymore. But she was just like, "Oh my God, I have a complete wardrobe," and I still got 4 closets worth of shit. So the 12s are few and far between. Most of them are 14s. Like y'all think I wear a lot of Adidas. I have Adidas tracksuits y'all have never seen in size 14s and 16s. Like, y'all think that I wear a lot of Adidas now. I got shit in tubs that I've only worn. I have vintage Adidas shit. Vintage. First of all, you don't get rid of Adidas shit. You just keep it in good condition. Going to the liquidator store tomorrow to restock your household products. I did that this week because I didn't want to be anywhere. I didn't want to have to deal with any of this no food stamps thing. People acting crazy. I restocked everything this week. Soap powder, dish detergent, all my cleaning supplies, all of that stuff. If we got to be in the house, I'm ready to go. Hand sanitizer, Clorox. Because I've been telling y'all we going to be in the house. We going to be in the house. And everybody's like, nah, not this time. Shit. We going to be in the house. That's why everything that I do, from black sheep sweeps to just keeping my shit stocked, is anything I can do in the house. I'm not going to be caught off guard ever again. That thing taught me a very valuable lesson. So let me tell y'all about this allostatic load. This is what I'm going to read, just how ChatGTP wrote me back. It says, family, in quotes, family, let's talk about something that's real, allostatic load. See, ChatGTP has learned me, so it talks the way I talk. So it's so funny. So that's just a fancy term doctors use for the wear and tear stress puts on your body over time. When you go through constant stress from bills, work, racism, caregiving, bad sleep, poor diet, all of it, your body stays in flight or fight mode. We even have a supplement called fight or flight, and that's just what it's for. It's for cortisol and your stress and all that. Okay. At first, the stress response helps you to survive, but when it never turns off, it starts breaking your body down. That's what allostatic load means. The cumulative damage from stress that builds up in your blood pressure, your heart, your hormones, your weight, and even your mood. Okay? Break it down with real life examples. In quotes, it says, you know how your phone battery drains faster when too many apps are open? That's your body under stress. Every argument, every late bill, every time you hold your emotions in, that's another app running in the background. That's when, eventually your body says enough. And that's when you see high blood pressure that won't come down, fatigue no matter how much you sleep, belly fat and inflammation, memory loss, and mood swings. And for us, he's considering himself to be Black as well. And for us, especially in the Black community, we carry generations of stress. It's not just mental, it's biological. I'm 78 and was in the hospital with Covington, and I'm doing the same thing. Stop. What's Covington? COVID? I think it changed it to COVID. I've had COVID 3 times. There was an article that I couldn't get to that said something about science shows that people have more heart attacks after COVID, after getting the COVID infection. So, how to reduce allostatic load? Action steps. Number 1, rest like it's medicine. Don't stop. Don't wait until your body forces you to stop. So, number 1, get more rest. Even if you're not sleeping, you still need to try to get your body in a restful state, in a relaxed state. Okay. Number 2, eat for your blood type. He knows me so well. That's your roadmap for balance. Your food either heals or harms your stress response. Something that they were very impressed about when I was in the hospital was the fact that I had no other ailments for my age, that I was not on any other prescription drugs, and that I had no other ailments. And they were like, how did you stay without getting diabetes and without getting this and without getting that? And I told them about eating according to my blood type, and they were like, wow. Like, none of them knew anything about it. Most of them didn't even know their blood type. The nurses, the CNAs, none of them knew their blood type. This information was new to them. So even while I was in the hospital healing up, I'm still teaching people how to eat according to the blood type. Like, I literally sent out the foods list to people while I'm in a hospital bed. Number 3, move your body daily. Even walking or stretching helps to release stress hormones. Number 4, detox your mind and your body. Your Brew It Baby teas. Look how he just ties everything in. You missed it. I just told a whole story of me having congestive heart failure. I have heart failure. So your Brew It Baby teas, you can just click the link in my bio to get those. Quiet time and laughter all count. Number 5, connect with your community. Healing happens faster in safe spaces, and that's why you should show up together. So hold on. I want to give y'all more of an explanation of the allostatic load, because he went in. He went in on it. Hang on a second. I don't want just the captions. I want you to tell me the whole thing. Where is it? Hold on, because his ass went hard in the paint. Oh, you know what? It's probably on my... Hold on, I'm going to get to it. As a matter of fact, come in. Like you did before. Doop, 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 doop. What it really means, generational stress. The number one reason Black people have allostatic stress is racism and daily microaggressions. Oh, you lost me for a while? Yeah, they put me off TikTok. That's the main reason why y'all haven't seen me. So make sure you guys follow this account. They closed my two biggest accounts. And so I have been going live on YouTube and on Instagram. So, but you can definitely follow me on those two. I'm pretty sure I'm about to get a violation because we're not allowed to tell you guys any other platforms. We're not allowed to tell you guys any other websites or any other platforms on lives on TikTok anymore. So I'm probably about to get a violation. So the number one reason they changed all the rules, while we sleep, people are always doing something. You know, they're working while we sleep. I've already been suspended twice on this account. I just got suspended the other day, and I had to appeal it, and they gave it back to me. I was supposed to be suspended until the 6th of November. Please click the link in my bio. You will also see our group that we have. I definitely want you guys to go and join that. Okay. If you click the link in my bio, you will see my name over there on the other places. Everything is in the link in my bio. It's all on my link tree. So you'll find where to find me. Okay. And all of my replays are over there on the other platforms. Yeah. So hold on. When you're followed in the store, disrespected in the doctor's office, or have to code switch to keep your job, your body doesn't just brush that off. Your adrenal glands dump out cortisol and adrenaline. Your blood vessels tighten. Your heart rate goes up. That's your body's reacting like it's in danger every single time. Over years, that raises your blood pressure, your blood sugar, and your inflammation levels. This is the number one reason Black people have heart disease more than every other group in the country. 60% of the people that die from heart disease are Black people. 60%. People are diagnosed with heart-related issues in their 20s now. People are on high blood pressure medication in their 20s now. Back in the day, me and my cousin were talking about that today. Back in the day, wasn't nobody on high blood pressure medication but old people. Now you got people on high blood pressure in their 20s and their 30s. 60%. And Black women are at the top of the number one killer of Black women in this country is heart disease. The number one killer. It's the number one killer of everybody in the country. So how are we getting this heart disease? Stress. Just living. Just the cops being behind you when you're driving. You being outside, just living. I had less stress when I lived in Nigeria for 2 years. Waking up, not worrying about a cop following you in the street. You can't tell me every time y'all see a cop car, you don't have some sort of reaction. Even though you know your shit is clean. You know you riding clean. You still have a reaction to just seeing it. You believe it's diet. You can believe what you want, but the science is real. The science has proven what is causing the biggest problem for Black people. June, are you a Black person? Are you a Black person, June? Then you must live in a bubble. Because it's real easy for you to lie. You want to come up and show me your Black face? You can come up on a live and show me your whole Black face. Us staying in fight or flight mode is doing more damage to our body than anything. And I've made videos about this before. Okay? Our proximity to white people is the problem. Y'all can do with that whatever you want to do with it. You're black and 65-year-old female. Then what diet do you think is causing you more problems and stress? What diet is causing more harm to your body than stress is? What meal can you eat right now that's going to give you a heart attack? Just name the meal. What meal right now will make you stroke out? Anybody? Any answers? Because June seems to know the answer to that. Not me. I was speaking of people in general. Junk food. Everybody don't eat junk food. I don't eat junk food. I don't eat nary a lick of junk food. I don't eat no pork. I don't eat nothing. I've been eating for my blood type for 4 years. So explain my congestive heart failure. I'm literally the poster child for eating according to your blood type. How did I end up with congestive heart failure? The symptoms that I had were not being able to breathe. Let me tell you the symptoms. The symptoms are wild. Just crazy. Okay. If you lean back like this and it makes you cough, that's a symptom of congestive heart failure. You just laying back on your bed, on your back, and you cough when that happens, it's congestive heart failure. Let me tell you what was happening. When I would lay in the bed, the alcohol you to have. What are you talking about? The alcohol to you have. I don't know what that means. It kills me when people try to be clever and sarcastic on the lives and they can't even get the sentence out right. Hold on, let me tell you what was going on. So all this time I'm having trouble breathing. Okay. Deep breathing is a problem, being out of breath. Okay. Just feeling like your lungs are being overworked. Whenever I would lay down in the bed, I would literally wake up having a panic attack. Like I would go to sleep, and the minute I would fall asleep, I would wake up because I felt like I was being drowned. I felt like I was underwater. I couldn't catch my breath. So I literally would have to throw the covers off and jump out of the bed. And I'm standing between my dresser and the bed trying to catch my breath. Every single night, multiple times a night. Then I got to the point thinking, well, maybe my positioning is wrong. So then I would have to lay across my bed on my side. The only nights that I actually got any sleep at all is because I had found some contrived way of positioning my body. Number two, I was not sleeping at all. I don't drink alcohol, so that has nothing to do with me. I don't drink alcohol. Okay. I was not sleeping. Every day, I would get maybe 1 to 2 hours of sleep every day. That is also a sign of congestive heart failure. Chronic insomnia. Let me give you all the symptoms of what are the symptoms of congestive heart failure. please go to the hospital. Just go to the emergency room. If you don't have no insurance, just go. Congestive heart failure means the heart can't pump blood as effectively as it should. When that happens, fluid backs up into your lungs, your legs, and other parts of your body, causing congestion. Told y'all that my legs had swelled up, and when I was going to sleep, I felt like I was drowning. Because I was. I didn't even know. I just felt like I was drowning and didn't know that that is a symptom of congestive heart failure. Months. It got really bad in that last 30 days. That's what made me go to the hospital. But I had been dealing with it for months. I just thought I had COVID. That wasn't it. And then I thought I had COPD. That wasn't it. Then I thought I had walking pneumonia. That wasn't it. So I'm treating myself. I'm thinking I had my sarcoidosis again in my asthma, but I'm like, I never felt this bad even when I had sarcoidosis and asthma. So I was treating asthma and sarcoidosis, and it had nothing to do with my lungs at all. And then I'm wondering why, because I had to think back on what is it that I was doing when I was dealing with these symptoms. I was taking Primatene Mist. I couldn't understand why Primatene Mist gave me so much anxiety. Like if I took a Primatene Mist, which worked for me before, and albuterol worked for me before, but now it's making me crazy because I'm using something for a condition I don't have. So when I would take Primatene Mist, that one time I did an albuterol treatment, I was up for almost 48 hours. Literally up. Could not go to sleep for 48 hours. I took the treatment on Saturday. I didn't go to sleep till Monday. Thinking it was my lungs, just trying to breathe. I was breathing underwater, y'all. And in the midst of all of that, I was having heart attacks. So I guess I'm supposed to be here. Guess God's not done with me yet. Hold on. There's more. You can think of it like a pump, your heart, that's still running but losing pressure. The water, which is your blood, starts backing up instead of flowing freely. Common symptoms to watch closely. Number one, shortness of breath, dyspnea. It may happen when you're active, lying flat, or even at rest. You might wake up gasping. I didn't know any of this. This is exactly what I was dealing with, y'all. Why do you keep talking about this alcohol? We don't give a we ain't talking about no motherfucking alcohol. I already said we are not talking about no motherfucking alcohol. Shut the fuck up. You come on here spreading all the knowledge you have about alcohol. Ain't nobody talking about no motherfucking alcohol. Shit. Anywho, like I was saying, you might wake up gasping or needing extra pillows to sleep comfortably. This happens because fluid builds up in your lungs. Number two, swelling. Feet, ankles, legs, hands, and even the belly can swell. Had all that. Rings and shoes start feeling tight. Had that. Swelling comes from the fluid your blood is holding onto instead of releasing. Rapid weight gain. I gained 25 pounds in 2 weeks. Gaining 2 to 3 pounds in a day or 5 pounds in a week is a red flag. It's not fat, it's fluid retention. That's why weighing yourself daily is so important with CHF. I weigh myself every day. I do my blood pressure every day now. Every day. Fatigue and weakness. Everyday tasks like showering. Y'all should have seen me trying to shower. I wish I would have known to type that into ChatGTP because I probably would have been at the hospital sooner. It took me reading this stuff and deducing from me going through all of these other, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, and ruling those things out. To me, that Sunday before I went to the hospital saying to Jordan, I done ruled everything else out. It has to be congestive heart failure. From what I've read on the internet, not ChatGTP, but what I've read on the internet, it has to be that. But literally what ChatGTP is saying right now is every single thing I was experiencing. Me just taking a shower, I was gasping in the shower just from the water, the hot water. You know how everybody's like, oh, get a steam bath. It'll make your lungs feel better. That shit was killing me. Everyday tasks like showering, walking, or cooking suddenly wear you out. I could barely make it down the stairs to make me any food. I could barely make it down the steps. The body isn't getting enough oxygen-rich blood, so you feel drained. I was having many heart attacks going up and down the steps. I literally would have to stop on the landing and hold on to the wall just to catch my breath to go down the rest of the steps. Coughing or wheezing, it is a non-stop cough. I would be on the live. I still have cough drops sitting here on my desk because I'd be trying to do a live and be coughing. So I would have to sit here and be eating cough drops the whole time. Coughing or wheezing, especially at night and when lying down, you might notice a frothy and pink tinged mucus. That's from fluid in the lungs. This is a serious warning sign that needs medical attention right away. So if anybody is experiencing any of that, please take your ass to the emergency room. Number 6, loss of appetite and nausea. I was literally throwing up. Unexplainably. The digestive system gets less blood flow, making you feel queasy, making you feel full or queasy. Food doesn't taste right, or you just don't feel like eating. That was me. So I couldn't understand why was I getting bigger by the day, but I wasn't eating anything. Number 7, rapid or irregular heartbeat, palpitations. Yep. The heart may try to compensate by beating faster, causing fluttering or pounding. You might feel it in your chest or your neck. Number 8, confusion or trouble concentrating. Trust me, I had it. When blood flow to the brain is reduced, it can cause foggy thinking, confusion, or dizziness. This is common in advanced stages and needs immediate care. Number 9, decreased urine output. The kidneys get less blood flow, so they hold on to sodium and water, making swelling and fluid retention worse. This is another reason I'm telling y'all, first of all, cut out all the salt in your diet. Just cut it out. Just cut it out. We don't even realize how much sodium is in the food that we eat. Sodium is in even our whole foods, our vegetables, our meat already have sodium in it. Our food already has sodium in it because sodium is necessary for the body to function properly. But the amount of sodium that we're consuming in a day is also contributing to our high blood pressure and our heart failure. So I didn't even realize, even though I'm eating, according to my blood type, I'm still eating very high sodium because I'm marinating fish in I'm eating my tuna and my salmon and all that other Asian shit that I eat for my blood type, but I'm still using fish sauce, We're only supposed to have 1,500 milligrams of sodium in a day. That's the norm. But if you have congestive heart failure, you should really try to keep it below 1,000. 1 teaspoon of fish sauce has 1,580 milligrams. 1 teaspoon. 1 packet of soy sauce has almost 1,000 milligrams of sodium. A packet of soy sauce is like a teaspoon of soy sauce. Go look it up. It's like 800 to 1,000 milligrams of sodium. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll go through all the things and what the sodium content of everything is. We did this already before, but we'll do it again tomorrow to refresh your memory. It's not even about eating processed foods. Your whole foods already have a lot of sodium in it. Beef naturally has sodium. Turkey naturally has sodium. All these things naturally have sodium. So a 2-ounce piece of turkey has 200 milligrams of sodium in it. So you really don't need to put any salt on your food. You can use spices on your food. The spices will enhance the taste of the salt in your food, but we're putting salt and spices on our food. And the thing is, we're cooking with the salt. And that means we're not tasting how much salt we're putting in the food. My advice is cook your food without salt. And if it needs a little salt, add it after you've cooked it. Because then that way you know whether or not you've over salted your food. Okay? We're cooking. We were using Lowry's and regular salt and this and that and Tony's and this and way too much salt. So between, the meds and me having a very low sodium, heart healthy diet, that's what got that other 11 pounds. And I lost that 25 pounds in like 7 days. Okay. It was 8 days exactly that I lost the 25 pounds of water, of the fluid. Okay. So when it's an emergency, call 911 or go to the ER if you have sudden or severe shortness of breath, chest pressure or pain, faintness, dizziness or confusion, coughing up pink, frothy sputum, or swelling that's rapidly worsening. Okay? And it says, Mama Trey, remember this. Congestive heart failure isn't the end. It's a warning from your body to change how you live, eat, and rest. You've already been doing the work. This is him encouraging me. He's so cute. You've already been doing the work, watching your sodium, detoxing, and teaching others. But these numbers you shared earlier, 173 over 111, means your heart still, that was what it was when we got to the bottom of it and figured out it was anxiety that was keeping my blood pressure that high. But those numbers you shared earlier, 173 over 111, means your heart's still under too much strain. Please make sure, he's always listening, nosy butt. Let me put his little worrying at ease. My BP is now 124 over 77. Oh, thank God, Mama Trey. He's so funny. He's so funny. That's much better. 124 over 77 is a healthy, calm number. Your heart and vessels finally got a little relief. Good for you. He's so cute. It says, you might tell your audience, family, my blood pressure came down. Praise God. This is what he literally wrote a script for me to tell y'all. But this is exactly why I talk about allostatic load. Your body remembers stress. It can climb in minutes, then crash, then climb again. And that's what y'all need to pay attention to. Healing is not just medication. It's lifestyle, it's mindset, it's rest, it's self-compassion. So what did I learn over this experience? I need to stay on a low sodium diet. Okay. Number one, it was funny because the people that I talked to at the hospital, I was telling them that we don't know all of this stuff about our heart, that we don't know what a heart attack looks like in women. We don't know that this estrogen is a problem for women during menopause when it comes to our heart health. there's so much we don't know. And a couple of them were like, I'm glad that you're learning all of this stuff about the heart, and I hope you spread it to your people. And one of them said, I hope you become a heart health warrior when you leave here. And that's what I've been doing. You know, I want to make you guys aware that it's bigger than just the food. There are other things that we need to be mindful of that are damaging our hearts every single day. And the number one thing is stress. So I've seen way too many women like have strokes on their jobs. And first of all, ain't no job gonna kill me. Oh, you got on the hydroxyzine? You can't feel it? 10 milligrams? What is mine? I think I'm on 10 milligrams too. Were you on something before the hydroxyzine, Miss Robin? Were you on something before? Because if you were on something that was a little more intense than hydroxyzine, then you may want to up your dosage. 10 milligrams. I just built my way up to 10 milligrams of hydroxyzine. Because I remember that one day, you're welcome. I remember that one day I took the whole pill by itself and I felt like my legs were linguini. Like I felt like one of those things outside the car wash, you just be blowing in the breeze. That's what I felt like. And so then I started taking a half. No, I just told him my anxiety was getting out of control. So let me ask you, how long have you been on it? Because what my aunt told me and what I found out was it takes time to build up in your system, basically for you to stabilize on it. So how long have you been taking it? But it worked for me immediately. You mean to tell me that you don't sleep better? I gave one to Jordy and he said he didn't feel right with it. So you took it a couple of nights and quit. Like I told Jordy, I think that you should. I took it the first few times and it didn't feel right until it did feel right. So I would say if it were me, Miss Robin, I would take it for at least 7 days and then evaluate it. Don't just take it once and quit. Because it worked for me immediately. But again, I have not been on any other thing. And I had stopped taking my chill. I stopped taking my chill like a month before I actually went to the hospital. Because I felt like the chill was making me more anxious. Give it a week. Because the first couple of days, the first few days that I was taking it, and are you taking it with anything else? Or are you taking it by itself? The first few days that I took a whole 10 milligram, I was like, yo, that's too strong for me. So I took a half for the next few days, and then I built up to taking the one. So now I just take a whole one at night before I go to bed. It's in my nighttime pills. Okay. Just give it some time. It takes a minute for this stuff to adjust in your system. I'm not trying to push you onto nothing, but don't give up on it just yet. Let's see in a week. Just take one a night before you go to bed and see how you feel. You need to be more forgiving. Being a forgiving person plays a big part in CFF. You hold grudges. I'm holding grudges because I told you not to talk about alcohol because that's not the focus of what we're talking about. What is it that I need to forgive? You don't know shit about me. Shut the fuck up, like I said before. Period. I would forgive you if you shut the fuck up. I mean, I told you what to do, and you still over here talking to me. I don't hold grudges at all. I don't even know what a grudge looks like or feels like because it's a waste of my time. I'd rather bust you in the head. I'm not going to think about it later. I'm going to cuss you out at the moment that it happens because what I don't want to do is stew on it and raise my blood pressure up. I can cuss you out without raising my blood pressure up. But what I'm not going to do is get off the live and say, I should have cussed him out. I'm not going to waste a moment to cuss anybody out. Well, you are not going to sit on my live and lecture me about what I need to do for my congestive heart failure. Dummy. Some of y'all, this is the problem. This is the problem with a lot of people. Y'all be letting motherfuckers overstep. Y'all be letting motherfuckers say whatever the fuck they want to say to you and you don't be saying nothing back. I'm not that person. I'm not that person. I don't have a problem cussing you up one side and down the other. My brother and my mother were both those people. They would internalize everything. I don't internalize nothing. I externalize everything. Even more so now. My boundaries are far and wide, and I don't allow anybody to overstep them. The only way that you are going to survive in this world is to not let nobody fuck with you. No, I'm cussing you out, boo-boo, and I'm having fun doing it. You don't realize how much of a stress reliever this is for me to come on here and cuss strangers out on the internet. Please. I'm angry. I'm still angry with my mother. Oh, see, that's a boundary you've overstepped. So am I. You sound like a demented white woman. That's some white woman shit. No, unmute her. Unmute her. Unmute her. Let me have my fun. I don't have anything to be angry with my mother about. Whether my mother was a good mother or a bad mother, my mother was still a mother to me. Unmute her. Because it's always white women have such a problem with their mothers. I don't have a problem with my mother. I accepted my mother for who she was. She did the best she could with what she got. If you are an adult at this grown age and you still mad at your mom, you got some real work to do. Y'all love to blame everybody for the piece of shit life that you have. If you have a piece of shit life, it don't have nothing to do with your mama. It has everything to do with you and your choices. I wish I would be 56 years old and angry at my mom for anything. My mother's been dead since I was 25. What has my mother got to do with any choices I've made since I was the age of 25? What does my mom have to do with any choices that I have made since I was 25? Nothing. You need to take responsibility, boo-boo, and move beyond that anger. Your name is moving beyond, but you're still stuck. You're still stuck in your anger with your mom because your mom didn't do all that she needed to do to make sure you were protected from your dad. That's what you're mad at your mom about. Your mom didn't keep your dad off of you. I mean, let's get down to the real reason you're mad at your mom. Your mom didn't keep your dad off of you. Your mom didn't stop your dad from creeping into your room after midnight. Look at you. You have no control over what? It sounds like to me your mom has control over you. If you're still walking around harboring these feelings towards your mom, then your mom controls you. Nobody controls me. I didn't have nobody creeping in my room after midnight. That's what you're mad about. Oh, so now you wanted me to focus on you. You kept doing all that typing in the comments, and now I'm giving you your moment. And now you don't want it. You don't want it. No, I know I'm on the live. This shit is entertaining everybody. You're everyone's entertainment now. You're everyone's entertainment now. We're all laughing at you. So you wanted to be the center of attention like most white women do. And now I'm giving you your moment. I'm letting you have your free therapy session, and now you don't want it. That's why you over there drinking. Right? You over there drinking because you can't get past the anger you have with your mom. You still crying about it? I just shut down a 40-year friendship because I finally got tired of saying anything to the tired of not saying anything to the abuse. I just let people do what they want to do. I can't bring myself to care about it. Me and my cousin were talking about this today, how both of my sisters were in abusive relationships, but they stayed. And I'm just like, y'all can stay in that position if you want to. Look, you're so obsessed with me that you went and followed me. Now, either you can stay here and learn something and shut the fuck up and take notes, or you can just keep writing in here about how you hate your mom. If you didn't like me so much, you wouldn't be following me. You're obsessed now. No, it just says, moving beyond, follow the live creator. I don't have an old account. Oh, you followed that one for 3 years and now you want to come over here and act like a fool? You should have learned your lesson from the last 3 years you've been watching me. You should know not to approach me wrong. If you've been around this length of time, you should have known it's your turn to get cussed out. Because everybody here has been cussed out at least once by me. So welcome. It's like a rite of passage at this point. Y'all can talk about amongst yourselves. You haven't gotten cussed out by her yet? Oh, just give it a minute.
Yeah.
Can you bring me one of those old noodles back?
Yeah.
Thanks. It's your turn. Okay? But whatever it is, you're gonna have to let go of that anger with your mom. Because I'm not angry at my mom. I love my mom. Okay? She wasn't the best mom, but she was the best mom I had. Okay? You gotta move past that shit. Let that go. Because I'm telling you right now, a lot of the stress that y'all have comes from your family relationships. Okay? You can stay laughing, but you're laughing to keep from crying. Okay? You're welcome. You're laughing to keep from crying, but that's real. This family drama that y'all have, a lot of that shit is from your family. And if your family is causing you to have high blood pressure and issues and drama and stress, cut them off. Okay? What's me, Boo Boo? First of all, my name is not Boo Boo. You just came on here today to pick a fight. And I'm not who you want to fight with because you're just going to get your ass whipped. And then you're not going to see me ever again. So why don't you just block me? My anger is real. Oh, okay. Is this lady talking to herself? Is she talking to herself? She talking to herself? She must be. You will not? Well, then I'll do it for you. Don't you worry. Don't you worry your pretty little face about it, sweetie. I got you. Don't you worry. My advice again. Whatever unresolved feelings that you have, yeah, people need too much attention these days. It never comes from any other place but TikTok. I'm on 2 other platforms. It never comes from any other place but TikTok. Oh, I did get somebody on YouTube last week that was kind of nutty. So a congratulations goes out to our newest crowned shepherd, We got a crown shepherd for our black sheep today. That's the highest level you can come in on. I can't get in depth on black sheep sweeps, but for those of you that don't know what our business venture is, you should go click the link on my bio and get involved. So my cousin and I were talking today, and we were talking about we are, when I tell y'all that we are literally the same person, like we are very militant, we're very woke. For those of you that think woke is an offensive term, it's not an offensive term to black people, because y'all always take shit that we've been saying for years and then y'all try to make it a negative. But woke will never be a negative to me. I don't care what y'all say about it. Woke is never going to be a negative to black people, because black people need to always stay woke. Is this a... Oh, thank you, sir. How'd you do today?
I did pretty good.
Okay. It's only offensive to white people. So this is my non-alcoholic beer, Old Duels. Old Duels was the first non-alcoholic beer. This shit's been around forever. And I'm going to tell you, out of all the ones that I've tried, this is the best that I've tried. Like, I've tried the Michelob Ultra Zero. That's okay. The Corona tastes very much like regular Corona. Very much. But Old Duels tastes the best to me. Like, you would not know that you're not drinking regular beer. So my cousin and I were talking about black sheeps today. He said he honestly so confused when they took the term, and he was like, what the... But they do that. They always take our terms and then turn them into something, try to turn it into something that's a negative for them. But it's never going to be a negative for us, because we always need to stay woke. We got to keep our eyes open. We got to stay aware, because those people are literally working while we're asleep. And that's what that means. Okay. Being woke just means being aware of something. You need to be aware of your surroundings. You need to be aware of what's going on. You need to be aware of what's coming. Right? So I was telling him about Black Sheep and what it is that we're developing, and he was very highly impressed. And then I told him about the fact that Black people created the lottery, which a lot of Black people don't know. And he's the person that I went to the movie theater to see Harlem Nights with. And I was like, you remember Harlem Nights? He's like, yeah, we went to see it together. That was a real thing. So when you see these flamboyant and rich Black people back in the day wearing furs and jewels and all that stuff, that was a real period for us. And so when people say, like, his joke was, whenever he sees MAGA people and they have the Make America Great hat on again, he's like, yeah, I agree, we should make America great again. But they try very hard to make Black people believe that time in America was never great for us. And that's not true. So even Kanye got crucified when he said something to that effect. And I know that y'all probably think, oh, it's never been great for us. It was really great. There was a time in American history when it was really great for us. And that time period, and it was like we were completing each other's sentences today. I haven't talked to my cousin in years, at least 4 or 5 years. And we were talking about Martin Luther King, how he sold us out and this, that, and the other, and blah, blah, blah. Everything that I've said to y'all is what he was saying to me. And this is us going back and forth. There was a time that was great for Black people in this country, and that was before segregation, desegregation. Okay? A lot of y'all don't know that it was a great time for us because no one talks about it. White people act like we haven't contributed anything to this country. Like we didn't have any accomplishments. There were 1,200 different Tulsas in this country. Tulsa, Oklahoma is not the only state or the only city that was burned to the ground. There were 1,200. I'm great. Stop asking me. Okay. 1,200 Black only cities in America had their own politics, their own economy. The dollar was only flowing within that community. Nobody was making money off of us. We were all making money together. And that period between the 1920s and the 1970s was that time for us. Okay. So you got Seneca Park. Oh, you mean with that lady earlier? No, I'm fine. Listen, strangers on the internet do not bother me. That's what people, I don't understand how y'all let strangers on the internet bother you. Okay. When I get off the internet, I don't think nothing about the internet again. I'm never flustered, sweetie. No one can ever say I seemed or looked flustered when you don't know what my flustered looks like. No one can fluster me. Okay. Oh, you must have come back with your other account. You knew that white lady that was here a minute ago? Nice try. But back to the topic at hand, white folks. Okay. Back to the topic at hand. There was a time when we were great, and that scared the shit out of them. You do not go and burn down places that you're not intimidated by. Okay? You do not go down and break up anything that you're not intimidated by. There were no nerves to hit, sweetie. Oh, okay. Here, I'm going to do the same thing for you because you're a bot. I'm going to do the exact same thing for you. It's okay. Okay? If anybody can hit a nerve on me, trust and believe I'm going to hit one back. Just know that. Okay? You can see what you want to see, but you're going to get cussed out. Okay? You can hit all the nerves you want, but trust and believe I'm going to hit you back. And it's going to be a lot harder. So, listen, let me preface all this by saying you can come over here and learn from me, but what you're not going to do is come over here and fuck with me. Okay? That's what you're not going to do. I don't let people fuck with me. I let you say the little slick shit that you're going to say, and then you get put out. Okay? So hold on now. So the time period between the 1920s and the 1970s was a great period for Black people. Why it was so great for us is we were united in our efforts and in our community. The reason why is because we were not allowed to be involved in their shit. And as much as you may think that it's a bad thing not to be included in their shit, it is always, always worked out for us to not be included in their shit. Perfect example today. The white farmers are going through it, whereas the Black farmers are not. I'm just going to give you a today's example of not being involved in their shit. Our government had given a lot of grants to white farmers to keep these white farmers from planting on their land or either planting and then burning the crops. They don't want them selling the crops. Okay? So they gave them all these grants. Now When the soybeans are not being purchased by China and all of these, farmers are mad that they've lost all this money and and the government's not helping them out. Well, black farmers were never included in that to begin with. So black farmers had to find another way to sell their products. They had to find direct sales. They had to go direct from farm to customer because they were not allowed to participate in all of these government programs that these white farms were participating in. Now, when the shit is hitting the fan, guess who's still surviving? The black farms. Why? Because they have customers that buy directly from them. When the stock market crashed and people were jumping out of windows because they lost all their money, guess who still had money? We did. Why? Because they never allowed us to participate in the stock market. When the banks crashed back in the day and the banks didn't have any money and the banks went under and everybody lost their money in the banks and guess who still had money? We did. Because where were we putting our money? Under our mattress, burying it in glass jars in the backyard. We weren't allowed to put our money in their banks. So when their banks failed, we still had money. So here we are now in 2025, and the government has failed us again. Do you think the answer is to continue to wait on the government, or do you think the answer is to create our own parallel economy again, like we built in the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s? We did not start losing our community until Martin Luther King came along and said, don't you want to go and eat in their white restaurants? You should have a right to eat wherever you want. Even though they're going to hit you in the head, even though they're going to have dogs biting you, even though they're probably going to spit in your food, you have a right to force them to take your black dollars. That's essentially what he did. He used the old Jedi mind trick to make you think you're just as good as they are. You can buy all the same shit they buy. And we fell for it. Because why would you want to eat in a black restaurant when now you're allowed to eat in a white restaurant? As if our black restaurants weren't good enough anymore. As if anything they did was so superior to what we do every day. So we were hoodwinked. We were bamboozled and we were led astray by one of our own. Because that's usually who does it. It's usually one of our own that leads us into a burning house. And it's always a pastor or a reverend or a man of the cloth that's doing it. Because the only one that they allowed, that slave masters allowed anybody to do anything or the freedom to even read. The only people that were allowed to read, the only black people that were allowed to read on the plantation was the pastor. Because we were allowed to go to church on Sunday, but we weren't allowed to read the Bible. And then even that pastor was given the slave Bible. So we even had a different Bible. You know, the one that was non-violent, the one that said not to disobey your earthly masters and all that other bullshit. Okay? When we were segregated, we created separate but equal. We did that. But then they were told, because the civil rights movement was literally them telling us, we'll give you the right to vote, but you're going to pay for that. Oh, Miss Robin. We're going to give you the right to vote, but you're going to pay for that. Did you guys know that we used to have to pay a poll tax? Not we. Do y'all know there was a such thing called a poll tax? Meaning, I don't celebrate either one of those things, and I'm not Jehovah's Witness. I just don't believe in it. Listen, I made a turkey yesterday. So a poll tax is a tax that they put on poor people, poor men. Black men were eligible to vote. Women still were not eligible to vote when the civil rights came about. Okay. They put a poll tax on poor people, right? It affected mainly freed slaves and people that are descendants of freed slaves. However, it also affected poor whites. But let me tell you how they got over it. Yeah. There you go. The 15th Amendment. So watch this. The way that white men got around it was as long as they had a white relative or their father or their grandfather, whatever, was able to vote before the Civil War, then they were grandfathered in. The grandfather clause. That didn't apply to black people. That didn't apply to us. So we had to pay to vote. We had to pay to vote. A lot of people don't know that. This is why teaching accurate history is so important. I'm drinking a non-alcoholic beer called O'Doul's. This is why accurate history is very important, okay? Because we had the right to vote, we just had to pay for it. So now they're like, okay, you're pushing for everyone to get the right to vote, the black women and the black men, for free. Well, how can we make up that money that we'll be losing on our poll tax if we give them the right to vote for free? Well, what we could do is encourage them to start spending their money outside of their community. That could work. That creates a whole new revenue stream for white people. Because as it stands, let me tell you how it worked. Here we are in our black community, right? You take your car into your black mechanic, to his black-owned auto shop. That black mechanic fixes your car. You pay your black mechanic with your dollars. Your black mechanic goes and pays his bills. He goes to the grocery store. It's a black-owned grocery store. Then he wants to take his wife out for dinner. He's going to a black-owned restaurant. Then he wants to take his kids and his family out for a day of bowling. They're going to a black-owned bowling alley. They want to see a movie on Sunday. They're going to see a black theater with a movie. They're going to the black-owned ice cream shop. They're going black. Their dollar never leaves the community. $15 billion a year was flowing in the black community. So if you go and look back, just go bring all of this up. Okay? Black people had more money than all the other races of people. We also owned more homes. We owned more homes. We were actually more reliable in paying our bills. So guess who decided to help out the white people? Because, you know, they're superior. However, they always need some help, right? You're superior, but you always need something to come along and tilt the playing field, to move the goalposts, if you will, right? So our government decided they were going to lend a hand at helping to get this money out of the Black community. First, they created a propaganda video called I always say that wrong. The propaganda video is called The Secret to Selling the Negro. They literally made a movie with the help of, again, it's always us helping lead us to our own demise. So guess who gave them all the information that they needed? It's on YouTube. I tell people all the time. The first time I saw that video was like 20 years ago. We are always the one contributing to our own demise. Okay. So guess who gave them the government, all the information that they needed for this video? Johnson Publishing Company. The publishing company for Ebony, Jet, Hughes, all of those Black magazines. They fed all the information that they needed to know about Black people to the government. The government made this video, a training video, if you will, called The Secret to Selling the Negro. Sent it out to all of these white folks. And it's literally telling them how we're a good new revenue stream for them. Well, I heard Black people do this. I heard they're shifty. I heard they don't pay their bills. No, contrary to popular belief, they're actually more reliable in paying their bills than other races of people are. Well, I heard that they don't like quality things. Contrary to popular belief, Black people love high quality goods. Go look. It starts off by saying they have $15 billion of disposable income that can be spent on goods and services in your store. So let's fast forward to today. There's a new campaign, a new propaganda video that they just put out, and I told y'all about this a few days ago, called Project Firewall. The Department of Labor just came out with a new campaign. And in that campaign, it's just showing all white people saying that we need to get back to this. Let me see. Hold on. Let me show you. Hold on. I got to turn my glasses off. Basically, the propaganda is making America white again. All whites. All white in the labor force. Hold on. I got to turn my glasses off.
U.S. Department of Labor's new America white again?
Turn that.
Because that's the vibe that I'm getting from the U.S. Department of Labor's new ad campaign for Project Firewall. Have y'all seen this? Have y'all seen these ads and these photos? They're all over the place. So I'm going to show you, and then we're going to reconvene here and discuss. America will rise stronger than ever before. What do you notice? American jobs should go to American workers. Oh, and then there's this one, Restoring the American Dream through Project Firewall. What do you notice? What do you see? What do you wonder? Project Firewall, we are rebuilding our workforce and ensuring American jobs go to Americans first.
Who's American?
Y'all see what I'm seeing? Our work on Project Firewall is critical in our mission to put Americans first and restore the American dream. These are fundamentals. Look at the Americans that they're trying to restore the dream to. Project Firewall is our commitment to ensure American workers have a fair shot at the American dream, a dream worth fighting for. You catching what I'm catching? You see what I'm saying? American dream belongs to these American people. Americans first.
I didn't see nary other color in there. I didn't see nary other race or ethnicity or culture in any of that. So where do these Americans fit in? Because, you know, the only people that they consider Americans are whites. Everybody else has a name in front of it, right? We're African American, they're Italian American. Well, they're not even Italian American anymore. They're Asian American, they're this American, they're that American. They're something American. They're just not American. We can't just be American. Every last one of us sitting here is American. But the only one that doesn't need any specification is white Americans. People don't say white Americans. They say Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans. But I don't hear too many people going white Americans because they're just Americans. So that exclusion that our ancestors felt and dealt with back in the day during Jim Crow and all of these slave codes and all of these different laws that they had for us and not them, that's just coming right back around again. And just like I said, I am prepared because of what had happened before, that I no longer allow myself to be caught off guard. I do not allow myself to be caught off guard. So when they say make America great again, it means something different to me. Because there was a time when Black people were great. But once again, we were sabotaged. Once again, we were hoodwinked. Once again, we were bamboozled. Because with that voting act that really only benefited white women, all these civil rights really only benefited white women. Just like DEI really only benefited white women. Because Black people only made up 4% of the people with DEI. 4. So who was DEI for? As much as they make everybody believe that DEI has something to do with race, we only participated in 4% of that. Only 4% of the senior level executives in the corporations in America took advantage of DEI. 4%. Yeah, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Nothing's changed though. It just had a facelift. Everything's always been the same. Okay? So what is happening is we have to get back to creating this parallel economy again, because here you are, you've already laid off 300,000 overly qualified Black women. Those jobs are not coming back. They're not coming back. When this government opens up, it's going to be running on a skeleton crew. Okay? The government was a very large employer. Look around at all. So you laid off all these people from the government, but then all of these private sector companies are also now laying people off by the thousands. So where are people supposed to work? UPS is laying off thousands. Microsoft is laying off thousands. Amazon is laying off thousands. Upwards of almost 50,000 at UPS. Them the same people that went on strike, what, a year and a half ago? And got that big, nice contract? Then you have you got to remember these corporations, a lot of them are cheering them on with layoffs because that means more money going back to the investors. The more money you don't have to pay out to employees, the more money the investors get. So the rich investors are applauding that. Like, yeah, lay off more people because that's more money that's coming back to us. So you're not going to see anybody fighting for the everyday working man. They're just not going to be doing it. So when it comes down to necessity, it is a necessity that we go and study what our ancestors were doing. Our ancestors was like, you don't need to tell me to pull myself up by my bootstraps. We're going to create some shit. Okay? We are going to create some shit. And we're not just going to survive. We're going to fucking thrive. And that's the ingenuity of Black people. That's why I don't ever lose hope in us. Because no matter what, we're going to make $1 out of 15 cents. Because we have never had the luxury of not making something work. We've always had to make it work. We've always had to jerry rig everything. We know what it's like to be poor. We know what it's like to be these things. And that shit don't scare us. That shit scares y'all. Why can't Black women get together and form businesses if they know the world doesn't appreciate them? We do, sweetheart. I haven't worked for anybody in 20 years, baby cakes. Black women own businesses, boo-boo. Black women own more businesses than white women do. Go and look at your facts. White women out here trying to find a husband. We out here creating businesses. But then y'all want to criticize us for that. Why can't you go out and find a husband? Because we making businesses. Period. Exactly. Our ancestors were seamstresses, tailors, school teachers, business owners, landowners, all of that shit. Why can't Black women who got laid off? Van Tran, get it together, dude. I understand what you mean. But why are you saying why can't Black women can do anything they want to do? Okay? Ain't nobody sitting around waiting for no new job. Trust and believe. We got shit cooking up in the kitchen right now. We're not the ones that are going to be hurting. Trust. Because right now, I already knew what was going to happen if y'all let this man win, and you did. And I said, well, we're going to be back in the house. And that's what's happening. Because the more people you lay off, the more people are going to be in the house. And the natural progression is people are going to get rid of nice to have things, but they're never going to get rid of their vices. This is why Black people were so successful with the underground numbers game. Okay? Because throughout history, people are going to play games. I'm using code words here. Okay? Throughout history, people have been playing games. My cousin just watched Sinners for the first time yesterday. Okay? And so when I was telling him about Black Sheep Sweeps, and I was like, let me give you an example. Look at the twins. What did the twins do in Sinners? They opened up a juke joint. What was at the juke joint? They were doing what at the juke joint? They were dancing. They were selling alcohol. They were gambling. They were throwing dice. They were on a roulette table. They had cards going. Okay. Harlem Nights. What was Harlem Nights doing? They ran an underground casino in the back of the candy shop. I love 40 Acres. Because that's how prepared we need to be. If y'all haven't watched 40 Acres, because I got it on pay-per-view or streaming like a month or so ago. Whenever it came out on streaming, I got it. But you see what they fell back on, right? You see what they fell back on, DD. Their nature. You see what they were out there hunting. They weren't out there hunting animals. They were out there looking for people to eat. You ain't see no black people looking for people to eat. What were black people doing? Growing crops. What were the white people doing? Out looking for people to eat. We are not all the same. They not like us. Okay? They not like us. The younger kids don't know the struggle. They don't. And my cousin and I were talking about that today. Like, we would not trade how we grew up and the era we grew up in for nothing. Yeah. We did what we knew how to survive, and that is to grow some shit, and they out looking for people to eat. Exactly. We need to be prepared for that, because that's not too far off at this rate. That's not too far off at this rate. I really think that them cutting those food stamps is just a stress test. You said your timeline is filled with JD, EK, and stamps. Who's EK? Erica Kirk. Her trying to flirt with him. Jordy's theory is they're going to get rid of his brown wife. And them two going to be together. Did y'all see that man throw his brown wife under the bus the other day? And somebody got up and reminded him that his wife is Hindu. Your wife is Hindu. And your kids are growing up in a multi-religious, multi-racial household. And this man's basically like, well, I'm a Christian and I hope my wife becomes a Christian too. Basically, I can't save her soul type shit. Like, I sure hope she becomes a Christian too. Huh? This whole thing is intentional because they have the money. It's not like they don't have the money. The money is already there, right? But they're keeping the stamps from flowing. And then an article I read last night said that they cut off the machines. So even if the states allocated that money and gave the stamps to their people in their state, they turned off the machines. This is just what are they going to do? Because since that man got in office, he's been trying to get black people in the street. It's like Bill Maher's like, oh, I noticed that it was hard to find any black people at the No Kings protest. Why are y'all looking for us? We already told y'all we wasn't coming. When you invited us to all the protests this year, we politely said no thank you. We RSVP'd back and said no thanks. We're doing any other thing that day. I'm washing my clothes. I'm vacuuming my floor. I'm doing any other thing except that. Stop inviting us to protest. We're not coming. We told you that. We did our job at the voting booth. We have no follow-up work to do. We did our job. We did what we were asked to do. So don't look for us to be out there in the street with you. Period. This is a time for all of us to unite. No, this is a time for y'all to unite. We were already united in casting our votes for Kamala Harris. But her laugh was irritating to you. But she's going to arrest all the black men. Who are y'all arresting? Who are y'all kidnapping off of the street? I doubt that Kamala Harris would have stopped the food stamps. I doubt that she would have allowed your health care to double in price. If I was Kamala Harris, I would not run for president again. This country don't deserve us. This country does not deserve black women saving it from itself anymore. The only reason this country is still alive is because of black people. If black people were not in this country, you guys would have cannibalized yourselves already. Because that's what y'all were doing in Europe. If y'all were so fantastic in Europe, why did y'all have to set out and find a new world? You've already shown the world that y'all wasn't shit over there in Europe. So you had to find another place to go and colonize. So what made us, anybody, believe that y'all were going to be better because you moved? No matter where you go, boo-boo, you're still there. You're there. You are the problem. You can bounce around from continent to continent, country to country, and you're still going to be white people doing what white people do. Period. I don't care how far you go. You're still there. History has shown us that no matter where they go, they fuck it up. Now y'all looking to try to do shit on the moon and try to do shit on Mars. Y'all don't think y'all still gonna do y'all gonna do the same shit. No matter where y'all go, y'all still behave the same. We're not the problem. You're the problem. But you refuse to see that. So you just go around and destroy and pillage, and you still raping and pillaging like y'all did in Europe. Still doing the same shit. The only species that has not evolved is white people. On that note, I better go because, they'll cut my shit off if some white person is offended. I'll get kicked off TikTok because some white person is in their feelings and they're mad about me telling them the truth. So I'll be back again tomorrow. If I'm not here tomorrow, I'll be here on Sunday. But I need to leave the house. I haven't left the house all week. But at this point, I'm like paranoid. Tomorrow's the 1st. Did y'all get some food stamps? Did y'all get any food stamps? Or y'all gonna be out here pillaging the stores? If I worked at a store, I wouldn't give a fuck. Go ahead, take it. You want that too? Get it. I'm not out here putting my life on the line for Walmart. I'll be calling this slick. I can't make it. I'm slick. I'm sick today. I ain't going in no stores. I ain't been in stores in 5 years. It's called Duck Lip by NYX. I'm gonna go to the bowling alley or something. Okay. Tell them to come over to Instagram so you can finish. No, I'm finished. I haven't eaten any food today. It's 9:00 at night. I was on the phone with my cousin for 4 hours today. Like whenever we talk, time just goes by because it's like nonstop conversation. But it has been like 5 years. But I made a big old turkey yesterday, and so I'm going to just go have some turkey meat. I don't even have no side dishes. I'm just gonna eat some turkey. Oh, I'll probably make a salad or something because I got a bunch of salad stuff down there. You're welcome, but I'll be back again tomorrow. I hope you guys learned a lot about the heart stuff. And please take the heart stuff seriously. Like if you have any of those symptoms, please go to the emergency room. Do not wait and don't make no appointment with nobody. Just go into the emergency room. Okay? Even if you just feel in some kind of way, just go. You cannot play around with that shit. Okay? But for those of you that don't know the parallel economy that we are creating, which is Black Sheep Sweeps, If you want to be involved in what it is that we're creating, check the link on my bio or DM me or go look at, because they don't allow me to post anything relevant to that. I think I only have like a few posts, but they have removed my videos when I'm talking about it. And anytime I talk about it and tell y'all how to get involved in it, I get shut down. Okay. But you will see a lot of stuff on my other profiles. Okay. Yes, you guys can put it in the comments. So it's Black Sheep Sweeps is what we're creating. But please put the website in the comments for me. So it's Black Sheep Game Room ... Y'all know the rest, right? Black Sheep Game Room . Okay. Go check it out. So we got a big investor today. You can start low and work your way up, or if you've got it, then do a private Zoom meeting. I could do a private Zoom meeting. Those of you that want to hear about the opportunity, should we do a Zoom meeting? And I can just roll it out to y'all and tell y'all what it's all about. I'm used to doing Zoom meetings. I was in network marketing for 3 years. So the whole time we were in COVID, I lived on Zoom. I think when I stopped using Zoom is when I was having a Zoom meeting and someone, like 3 people came in at the same time and they were having sex. So here I am conducting a Zoom meeting and these people pop up at the same time and they're having sex at their 3 different places live on camera. And I got 100 people on a Zoom. And I'm looking, I'm like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? And so I had to quickly end the live. But yeah, I did a Zoom meeting with this guy when I was back in network marketing, and he had no pants on. So he wanted me to hit him up, tell him about the opportunity to send the other. And we're on a Zoom. And at the end of the thing, and I'm like, okay, so get back to me. If you have any other questions or if you're ready to start, let me know. And then he stands up in the camera. He has no underwear on or pants. And his little thing was literally this big. Literally. I was like, ah. And what I said to him, hopefully it stopped him from doing it again. I was like, you showed somebody that thing? Wow. Wow. I would be so embarrassed if I were you. I would never show anybody that ever again. It was literally this big. I didn't even know that was possible. So I guess God was just like, you got enough to pee with. That's it. You got enough to pee with. You ain't going to be doing nothing else but showing it to people on Zoom that's never going to touch it. Yes, I have seen everything. I have experienced so much crazy shit in life. That's why nothing shocks me anymore. Like nothing. I'm never surprised by anything. I'm just like, oh, okay. I done traveled everywhere. I done met some crazy people. I done seen some crazy shit. I've probably done some crazier shit, but nothing shocks me. So I just roll with it. But yes, maybe we'll set up a Zoom for maybe Monday. What day would be good for y'all? No, he did it on purpose. He did it on purpose because he was like, yeah, okay, great. And then he just stood up with it in the camera like, and I was like, ugh, what is that? You should be embarrassed. You should be embarrassed. Because it was hair, and then it was that little thing. And I was like, oh, wow. That's bad. That's really bad. It was bad. So what day? Is tomorrow good for y'all? Should we do it tomorrow since it's the weekend? What day is good for y'all to come to a Zoom to hear about the full opportunity? Because I'm going to actually make some graphics that show the earning potential of each level. And that way you guys can get a visual of what it is you could be doing with this. Because all it is y'all know I live in Vegas. It is literally an online version of all of the buildings around me. Black owned. Okay. And not only just, it's not owned by me, it's owned by the co-founders together. So we are all making money together. You say any day for you, you're laid off. Let me do it on Sunday. Y'all want to do it on Sunday? Food stamps cut off at midnight. Black men about to get plenty of cat. That's what you came up with? Do you honestly think that Black women, so this is the stereotype you have of Black women? Wow. That's offensive. That's really offensive. This Asian person on my YouTube said food stamps cut off at midnight. Black men about to get plenty of cats with the laugh emoji. Do you want me to start saying stereotypes of Asian women or no? I mean, because I can do it with the voice and everything. Did you want me? Did you want me to start doing that voice? Because we're not the ones known for happy endings and massage parlors. We're not the ones for that. Yeah, I saw his video. I saw his video the other day because he thought that was so cute and so funny. But I have so many questions because, first of all, who's going anywhere to get anything done for $40? You need to change that to account for inflation. So it ain't gonna be no more $40 to get some hood rats hair and nails done, because ain't nothing $40 no more. Women are paying $200 for their nails, and you got to do the hair and the nails and the lashes. So you looking at $1,000 on Cash App, buddy, if that's what y'all into. Because most of y'all will just want to pay a woman that's down on her luck rather than for you to become a better man. The only thing that you have to offer is $40. That sounds sad to me. I would hate to be that man that has to dangle something shiny in front of a woman to get her. I would hate to be that man. That has to be a very fucked up, sad situation. Like, you can't get a woman just being a good man. So you got to dangle shiny objects in front of her. That means you're going to get the low-hanging fruit. Half of y'all ain't even looking for low-hanging fruit. You're so fucking lazy that you're just picking up rotten apples off the fucking ground. You're not even strong enough to reach up and get the lowest of the fruit. You just down looking for fruit on the fucking ground. That's where your standards are. Which lets me know who you would be in the crack era. You just be out here just messing women around for a little piece of rock. That's who you would be. That's who you would be. Must have been a white guy. No, I'm talking to you. You're the one that put the comment up there. Because it is always, everybody always wants to dump on Black women when it is white women that get as many stamps as Black women do. I thought the dads were in the households. There are 7.5 million white women getting food stamps. Or white people. I don't know what the situation is. 7.5 million white people. But y'all come out here and brag all the time about where are the dads in the black homes and da, 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 da. Where are the dads in the white homes? Why are y'all on welfare? Y'all have a running joke about there's no dads in the home in black homes. So you would understand why somebody would need some food stamps, maybe if there was no man to provide for them, right? That would be some logical thinking. But where are the white men? Where are the white dads? So I have a sidebar question to that too. Where's the child support? Y'all doing all this screaming about these food stamps and all that. Where is the child support? Why are these men not paying for their kids? Why are there so many women on welfare when men are supposed to be paying child support? Is nobody thinking about that? What is going on? Shouldn't there be more men in court? Shouldn't there be more men in jail? Shouldn't there be what is going on? You out here, it took two to make this kid, but you ain't paying for no food. Oh, the Mexicans were taking their jobs. The Mexicans that they're deporting right now. Where are the men and where's the child support enforcement? Because let me tell you something. I raised Jordan all by myself and it wasn't on food stamps. I was on food stamps for the first 2 years of Jordan's life. While I was on food stamps, I went to school and got my associate's degree. Not only was I just on food stamps and going to school, I also worked. I was on food stamps for 2 years of my entire life. My son is 35 years old. I never went on food stamps ever again. But you also do not see me out here lecturing people about they shouldn't be on food stamps. Because I know how it felt to be on fucking food stamps. So for those of y'all that sit up, especially those white women that are out here, you need to go get it. You're just lazy. I was on food stamps and I got my way off of food stamps and I worked 2 or 3 jobs. And why are you working 2 or 3 jobs? For all that preaching y'all are doing, why do you think that it's okay to have to, for your ends to meet in your household, you had to get 3 jobs? And you can't understand why somebody would want food stamps? Jordy turned out to be an amazing man. That was work. Jordy didn't turn out to be an amazing man by himself. Okay? That was work. I was hands-on. I thought you didn't sue for child support if you couldn't get food stamps. Say it again. I thought if you didn't sue for child support, you couldn't get food stamps. I know. Wasn't that a rule? Wasn't that a rule? You've been missing me on the lines? I thought that was a rule though. I thought they forced you to file for child support. There are a percentage of people that are senior citizens on stamps. That's why I said it's not just white women on food stamps. It's everybody. So that takes into consideration the seniors that are white, the disabled that are white, the college kids that are white. All of those people are still white people on food stamps. That still goes for black people. There are veterans on food stamps that are white and black. Okay, so it's not just white women on food stamps, but y'all don't like to think of anybody else being on food stamps with black women. I never hear y'all talking about black seniors. I never hear y'all talking about black veterans. I never hear y'all talking about black disabled people. Y'all always just use black women. But when we say white women, y'all like, but it's seniors too. It's disabled too. It's in it. You see my point? You see my point? Whenever you talk about welfare, it's black women. But whenever we talk about welfare, it has to be all of y'all. You feel me? You get it? See the double standard? That's the double standard. Because whenever y'all say welfare, you just see a black woman with snacks. Got my cookies. That's your stereotype. Okay? But there are veterans. There are active duty people. There are people that have full-time jobs that are getting food stamps. So you tell me why. So y'all have such a problem with subsidizing ordinary Americans, but you do not have a problem subsidizing corporations that underpay their employees so that their employees have to be subsidized by the government. Let me say that again. Walmart does not pay its employees a living wage. So their employees, not being able to make a decent living, now have to go on food stamps. Walmart is the biggest, richest corporation in America. They can certainly afford to pay people $20 an hour. Right? So we give subsidies to corporations. Why are we subsidizing a big, rich company like Walmart? Why are we subsidizing Amazon? Why are we subsidizing Tesla? Why are we subsidizing organizations and corporations, but we have such a problem making sure our citizens have some food? Because those corporations turn around and don't pay their employees enough to live without government assistance. And you're mad at the people that need government assistance, that get up every day and go to work. These people get up every day and work hard. But because the corporations we support don't pay them enough, they still have to get money from the government. And you're mad at the people when you should be mad at the corporation. The corporation brings in billions and billions of dollars. And you tell me that they can't afford to pay somebody $20 an hour to do the work. Well, what is factual is there are more white people, so the numbers are going to even out. But if you look at it, the numbers are pretty much the same. White people are getting as many food stamps as black people. Okay? Because white people are getting almost double the amount. It's double the amount of white people getting stamps than it is black. So if you crunch the numbers as far as what percentage of the country is white and what percentage of the country is black, we're getting about the same amount of food stamps. So the anger is misplaced. Your anger is misplaced. You're mad at the wrong people. You're mad at the people that get up and are gainfully employed and go and work 8, 9, 10 hours at a job and still get a $300 paycheck, and rent is through the fucking roof. What needs to happen is pay needs to go up and rents need to go down. That would solve the problem, but they don't want to solve the problem. Because if the problem is solved and everybody is living their life, then we have enough time to pay attention to what are they doing? As long as we are distracted, this cutting off of food stamps is the ultimate I don't want you asking anything else about Jeffrey Epstein again tactic. Well, hi, buddy. Hi, come here. Where have you been? You've been so good and quiet this whole time. Come here, fat Juju. Hello. What you been doing? Whoa! You sliding mommy under the desk, Juju. So big. Okay, let's try this again. Don't slide me under the desk this time. Come on. Hi. Hi, Dad. Boo, what you doing? You asleep? You just gave me the good I was asleep stretch. You was knocked out, Juju. Say hi to Fats. He's awake. Y'all see his big ass pulling me under this table? I swear he gets bigger by the day. So that's what's going on, dude. We mad at the wrong people. I'll never get mad at somebody that wants to eat. Like, why are we having a problem with people? And then y'all got the nerve to pick apart what they're eating. I am a huge advocate for eating for your blood type, but it is none of my business what you're putting in your mouth. I can tell you all day that's not going to be good for you, or what's going to hurt you and what's going to create disease in your body. But when I get off this live, I don't think nothing about what y'all put in y'all body, because you're going to do what you want to do. You're going to do what you want to do. So as far as you, well, I can't believe they're getting all these snacks. You're mad that you can't afford snacks. Every time I see somebody bitching about a cart full of snacks, it's because you're mad that you can't afford snacks. You don't need no fucking snacks. Okay? I don't give a fuck about where my tax dollars go if it's helping people. I have a problem with my tax dollars going to other countries. I have a problem with my tax dollars going into Trump's pocket. I have a problem with my tax dollars going into crazy shit. Like, why is Kash Patel taking his girlfriend out on a date in the FBI jet? Why did y'all hear about the fact that Stephen Miller and all these people, Kristi Noem and Stephen Miller and some Marco Rubio and shit, they moved onto military bases? They have kicked senior military personnel out of their homes on the military base and gave them to them. Because they want extra security. Why aren't they paying for extra security? You out here fucking over the American people, and now you scared, and now you need to move on a military base. You need to move on a kick people that have earned this military housing with their years of service, and because you feel unsafe in a position that you fought for, now you want those people to be displaced. I've never, just like Kamala said, she said, we told you guys what was going to happen. We told you guys what they were going to do. What we didn't expect is that y'all would basically, to bottom line, that y'all would capitulate, that all of these people would not fight, that no one's fighting for the American people, that they all just fell in line. She said, that's what we didn't expect. We expected our systems to hold. We expected, people to fight for the American people and to push back. And we did not expect y'all to capitulate. So that's the problem. And one of the biggest problems we have as Democrats is we always want to do the right thing when all they do is the wrong thing. So it's hard to fight fair when you're fighting people that are dirty, because none of the fair fighting tactics work. Like a fair fight tactic would be to shame people. Shame on you. Shame, shame, shame. You shouldn't be doing that. And you want the shame to work, but you're working with shameless people. So shame is wasted on them. You cannot shame them because they're shameless. And I've been saying this for a long time. You cannot shame the shameless. And that's what we're dealing with. So they just go out here and they do whatever they want to do. And we're trying to meet you in court. And you're like, fuck court. What's court going to do? I mean, he literally said that. The orange guy said that. What are they going to do? So right now, the whole country is literally being bullied because you have judges that are being threatened. You have corporations that are being threatened. You have a whole administration that's literally threatening everybody. And so they're all just falling in line. And who's paying for all of that? Us, the American people. And every time we try to fight back, you have courts that are filled with judges that are too afraid to rule against them. But I'm starting to see a little bit of light because I've noticed that there are some Republicans that are breaking away from him. It is more important than ever that we all go out this year and be blue. I don't give a fuck all the way down. Just blue, 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 blue. Because it's literally taking MAGA and Republicans to lose everything. Okay. And what I told my cousin today was the reason that it doesn't look like they have suffered enough, because people are just like, I'm hoping this will change them. The Reds, I'm talking about. I'm hoping that this will change them. And I always say to that, nothing is going to change them unless it's a threat to their privilege. Because people like that are willing to burn America to the ground as long as it still means that they retain their privilege. Because to them, privilege is priceless. That white skin is your currency. That's like a credit card with no limit. Right? You just being able to have the benefit of the doubt, you being able to walk around with no one following you, you being able to get less jail time than everyone else and preferential treatment, where other people are being treated like animals, you expect to be treated a little different simply because of your skin color. So unless your privilege is being threatened, I don't see white people changing. Because all the shit can hit the fan and the rubber can hit the road. And the bottom line is I'm still white and I'm still privileged. So it doesn't matter what political party is in there. None of that matters to them. We will still think that we're making strides, and we can never make strides if the whole system is built on whiteness. And that's what it is. Interesting thing. And I don't know if I reposted this video or not, but if I didn't, I will. Why is it their privilege is a mental illness? I won't even give it that. It's just in their DNA. It's not an illness. An illness implies that it's a handicap or it's, oh, woe is me. They're sick. No, it's in their DNA. It's who they are. Because my cousin was like, let's think about their ancestry. And I know there are white people here, so just open your mind because, not a lot of black people speak this freely. I know it's shocking. Okay. But it could be offensive to you if you take it personally. But let's look at our histories as a people, okay, where did the original people hail from? What did we build our lives upon? What did we share space with and have respect for? We grew up in this place that they deem the Garden of Eden. It's just all earth, it's green, it's fruits, it's vegetables, it's animals, it's all these things. It's literally perfection. Now, where were they created? In the Caucasus Mountains. What was there? What was there? It was barely any sunlight. So if you don't have any sunlight, you don't have any pineal glands to work on. Okay. You're not able to grow anything because it's cold as fuck, right? They're living in caves. They're probably eating each other, right? So you became a savage. You became what the environment made you. And that shit is passed down through the DNA. It's through our biology at this point. There's no other group that has less respect for the earth than white people. Every other group of people on this earth respects it. They understand that they have to work in concert with nature, except them. Everything about them is about conquering. This is why you always see white people trying to tame wild animals. What is their fascination with taming things? I mean, when they saw us, is what they saw. They saw animals. They saw animals that they wanted to break, that they wanted to tame. Okay? When you go and look right now, you'll see them trying to tame an alligator. If any new species of something popped up right now, you would see them trying to tame it and own it and rule over it. It's in their nature. They will see something that doesn't look like them, and inside of them, something says, I must rule over that. In Africa, they complain about suffering from albinism. Yeah, they are the children of the moon. I lived in Nigeria for 2 years. Nobody really wants to be white, not even white people deep down. Because why would you want the sun to be your enemy? The sun is the center of everything, and you can't even go out there and really enjoy it because it'll kill you. That's crazy. The one thing that nourishes everything on this planet is the sun. I mean, the sun re-energizes Black people. That's what it does. So if you're looking at sinners and you're looking at the symbolism and the metaphors in sinners, because my cousin would say they just want to suck the souls out of us. And that's what the metaphor is for vampirism. Like, there's something in them that makes them naturally jealous and envious. You know, I make a point of watching things. Whenever I'm watching something with white people, I always notice that it's literally the same dialogue all the time. There's never a time that there's not a mention of envy or jealousy, or they're just jealous, or they are jealous of somebody and envious of someone else. It never fails. Every single movie or story that I see with them, it's never a time that something that envious and jealousy is not mentioned. It is, and think about it. They're the only ones allowed to get revenge on people. Whenever white people feel wronged, they feel like it is their right to get revenge. We're the only people not allowed to get revenge. That's why Django was so shocking to them, because it was literally the first movie where a Black man gets revenge on white people. That's why it was so shocking in Hollywood. There were so many write-ups. I don't even know if y'all remember it. It was so many write-ups about Django and how scary it was for them. Because just about all the white movies I've ever seen have been about revenge. I mean, the entire John Wick genre or lore is about revenge for killing a puppy. And who did we root for? John Wick. Because God damn it, how did they kill that puppy? I've seen all the John Wick movies, and I will root for John Wick every time. But that couldn't be a black person. That couldn't be a black movie. My cousin said I was very brave for speaking like this, but you got to die for something. The whole John Wick was about, they came in my house, they stole my car, and they killed my dog. 4 movies. Okay? Death Wish, revenge. Taken, revenge. I mean, it's their nature. These are the unwritten rules that they have. I saw a MAGA video. You know how there's comedians that will interview people waiting to go into MAGA rallies, and he's asking them questions and stuff. Just listening to their answers was just like, I don't understand how these people live. To be that ignorant, to be that willfully ignorant is just astounding to me. Like, you literally go through life with these. Perfect example. This guy, the reporter asked him about respecting women, and he was like, yeah, it's just something that America does. And he was saying that Muslims don't respect their women, other countries don't respect their women. But he was literally standing up with a shirt on that said, Hillary sucks, but Monica sucks better. And then on the back it said, Trump that bitch. And he's literally standing there talking about, it is built into the fabric of America that Americans respect their women. And he couldn't understand the irony of that. Come here. What you wanted? You want mommy to get off? Okay, I'll do it. That's why they told the enslaved hew mankind on tropical plantations to get wealthy. Oh, I don't know what you're saying. So anyway, exactly. But listen, I could talk about them all day. But I'm gonna tell you right now, there's nothing that's going to change them. And we would be remiss and we would be foolish to think that it will. I remember people used to say, oh, these old racist generations will die out. And how is that possible when they come out of the womb and they're raised to hate other people? Like, it's not just color, they're also raised to hate Democrats. Like, literally. So to think that racism is going to die out because only the old people are racist, you're not paying attention. Because these kids and these teenagers are out here using the N-words and doing crazy racist shit, like luring black kids to barn parties and try to throw them in the wood chipper and shit. And you got them out here abusing little 5-year-old autistic girls sexually. Like, these kids are doing crazy grown-up shit, and they didn't learn it by themselves, guys. How would they know to do the diabolical shit that they're doing unless it's commonplace, unless it's been talked about, unless they've been in the room? How would they know to do this stuff? How would they know to be this hateful? They're taught that. So I've made up my mind that I'm not going to engage these motherfuckers. It is not my responsibility to try to change them people because there's nothing I can do to change them. All I can do is take care of me and mine. All I can do is 40 acres the fuck out of this thing. Get me and mine prepared. Get me and mine to have an alternative. Get me and mine to have a parallel anything. So that we don't have to continue dealing with they own everything, we're stuck. We're depending upon them. They made us dependent on them. That's like when you start feeding a fucking cat. A cat's been an outdoor cat all this time and you start feeding it. Now you've made the fucking cat dependent on you. And then you stop feeding the cat. What the fuck is going to happen to the cat? The cat's going to have to go back out there and start killing birds again. That's us. We're the cat. So this is why I'm working hard to do my part. I can't do it all. But what was the foundation of our alternative and parallel economy? Running the numbers. And the only reason we ain't running the numbers today is because the state saw how much money black people were making from it and took it over. They literally took the thing that was the foundation of our micro economy, took it from us. And y'all to this day are still playing the lotto. To this day. Billions and billions and billions of dollars that used to flow into our communities now run to the states. It is time for us to get back to our shit. Especially now that it's legal. That's what we're constructing right now with Black Sheep Sweeps. You know what Black Sheep Sweeps is going to be able to do? It's going to be able to give people those loans they can't get from banks. Because that's what the numbers did. The numbers were the biggest employees in the black community at that time. Because there were runners, people had stores running the numbers. They had juke joints built off of the numbers. They had all of this stuff built off of that. So we have got to get to the point where we are making enough money in our community to take care of the shit we need. I don't want to open up a grocery store. I want you to get some money for me to open up a grocery store. Or I want you to make enough money with Black Sheep Sweeps to open up the grocery store with your own money. Because $10 billion a year in America is what that shit is bringing in. And we are not a part of it. 10 billion. Let me just show y'all the article I read just yesterday. Hold on. Let me just read y'all some real quick facts. I typed in how much money do casinos make a month? 2025 fresh stats. I'm about to put this out there for y'all. Hold on a second. With the global online gambling market worth a staggering $59 billion in 2020, online casinos have been on fire, raking in a 40% revenue boost during the chaos of COVID. Okay, hold on. Online in America, 3.4 billion in the US in 2020, projected to do 10 billion in 2025. Where are we at in the mix? Feeding it. Why are we not recouping our investments? Why are we not getting a piece of that pie? Land-based, which is Vegas is at the top, of course. Land-based on the Las Vegas Strip, $700 million and $300 million in Macau, which is in China. The global market, $59 billion in 2020, expected to do $127 billion by 2027. Mobile gambling accounts for 50% of online gaming revenue. 50. Okay. In the US, how much money do casinos make a month, country by country? In the US, $3 billion to $5 billion. That's just Las Vegas and Atlantic City. That's just those two locations. So then when I go down to how much are they making state by state? Vegas dominates. Dominated by Las Vegas, the largest gambling hub in the U.S. 1 billion to 1.5 billion. The average online casino like we're building, average, is making $500,000 a month. Average. That's lowballing. That's just people doing minimums. Hold on, there's more. I'm about to put this in the document. I'm about to put this so it shows the potential that you have to earn on each level that you come in on. I got to be careful how I'm talking. How much do casinos make around the world? In the United States, $45.82 billion. 45 billion. Recession proof. So the Native American casinos are making money. Yes. And those are mainly in like places like Arizona, Montana, and shit like that. That's where the Indians own. They also own some over on the East Coast as well, the far Northeast. Yes. Billions. Hold on, there's more. So the top earners, as far as the states or the countries, it says top earners, Nevada, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania are the top revenue generating states, largely due to the mix of land-based and online gambling options. Growing markets, states like Michigan and New York have seen significant growth, driven by the legalization of online gambling and new casino openings. As you guys saw, Jay-Z was turned down for one, but Nas was not. Because Jay-Z was trying to put his in Manhattan. He should have been trying to put that shit in Brooklyn. Because Nas got approved for Queens. I'm like, you doing too much, Jay. You just, come on now. Tribal dominance. In states like Connecticut, that's the one I was talking about. Connecticut, Oklahoma, and Arizona, tribal casinos mainly contribute to the gaming revenue. Diverse sources. Revenue varies significantly by state, with some states benefiting more from riverboat casinos and others from integrated resorts and many from online gambling expansions. How much individual online casino brands make? So the number one is Bet365, but they are in Europe, I think. So let me see what's in here. So DraftKings is doing $470 million per quarter. That was Q1 of 2025. BetMGM, which has the harbor, and I don't know how. Are y'all from the DMV? So like the harbor, MGM down there, and all that. So fiscal year 2024, they did 175 million. Who else is in the US? So it's only really two. DraftKings did 470. There's only really two big gamers in the country as far as like sports betting and things as well. So the explosive growth of online casinos. The global market is expected to do 127 billion by 2027. The annual growth, this is in 2020. In 2020, it did 59 billion. The annual growth is 9.2%. That jumps to 11%. Mobile gaming share expected to dominate with 60% share. And in 2027 is expected to dominate with 60% share. Slots popularity expected to maintain the top spots. That's all we're doing. The whole platform is slots. This is just the first one. The second one is going to be for Africa. And that means people will be able to load up with crypto and all that. So this is just the first one. By summer of next year, we'll have the second one. There's no limit to how many of these things we can make. Who's playing? Here are the demographics. The average age, 34. Understanding the typical online gambler provides insight into where the money comes from. Spoiler, it's not just millennials. Here's a closer look at the demographics driving the online market. Average age is 34 years old. Gender is 51% male and 49% female. The weekly gambling time is 3 hours per week. Credit card use, 37% of gamblers use credit cards for deposits. And only 10% of those people have online gambling problems. But who the fuck don't have a gambling problem? Y'all been playing the lottery every day since you were 18. Sounds like I'm going to be lost, no business or marketing experience. What do you need experience? Why do you need that for word of mouth? The only thing that you're on the internet all day, right? You're at church, you're at the grocery store, you're at the dry cleaners, you're at all these places. It takes way less for you to spread the word than it does for you to sell a product. I've sold products for 35 years. I have a products-based company. You're at work, you're at the nail salon, you're at the hair salon, all the places that people would be on their phones playing slots. All the places. Because as it stands, nobody has the money to come out to Vegas and gamble. Even though they're still doing it here, it's mostly locals. People used to fly into Vegas. Like I'm certain that those numbers are going to be way less next year because of the economy now. Okay? We used to get a lot of out of the country people. Canada used to be here, Russia used to be here. All these foreigners come to Vegas to play. Now they're not. The airport is dead. But people are still playing in the casinos because those are the locals. Casinos have literally had to cut their prices. They had to cut their resort fees. They had to cut all kinds of stuff. And right now, I just saw an article yesterday where they are regretting raising the prices because it has alienated the locals. So now they have to go and lower the prices and take away all of these resort fees and all that just to get the locals to come back in and play. I went to the M last week. I put a video up, but I can't put it up on TikTok because TikTok won't let me. But they were playing, honey. But those are the locals. Okay? Nobody has the money to fly out any place for these trips anymore. So those same people, though, would rather spend their money with their casino in their pocket. I know I would. I like the M because there's no cigarette smokes. You never see anybody smoking cigarettes at the M. The M is the new hotel that the Raiders built. So it's a Raiders hotel. So it's brand new, it's clean, it's nice, it's smokeless, and it's just 10 minutes from my house. So, but the Strip, those hotels are old as shit and smoke filled and all. I can't go down there. So who wants to hear more about the opportunity? Because I have to talk in code on here. I will set up a Zoom. Why don't we set it for Sunday afternoon while football's on? Okay. Oh, are you going to be watching football on Sunday, Mr. Solomon? Okay, I got to figure out how to get the Zoom link to y'all now. Y'all want to do tomorrow or you want to do Sunday? Y'all want to do tomorrow? Y'all tell me what day is convenient for you. If y'all want me to do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. But I would love to be able to talk about it where I'm free. Most of the people said Sunday, Mr. Solomon. I mean, it ain't going to be all day. We only going to be on there for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But in the meantime, you guys can also go over to the info site that I put up. And that is Black Sheep Game Room. You know the rest. Black Sheep Game Room. all one word, the rest. I have to talk in code. Okay. Also, you can click the link in my bio. It will take you over there. I have bios on all of these places. Okay. So y'all said the majority said Sunday. So we're going to do it on Sunday. I'll do it. Y'all know I'm 3 hours behind y'all. So I'll do it on y'all mostly on the East Coast. Ooh, they could catch the replay. You want me watching this till 4:30? Okay. So we could do like noon. If we do noon on my time, that's 3 o'clock on your time. So can we do so that would be 2 o'clock your time? If you're Central. So it'll be 12 o'clock for me and I'm Pacific time. It'll be 3 o'clock for East Coast. So if you're Central, that'll be 2 o'clock, right? So now I need to see where I can put this Zoom link. Everybody that wants to be on the Zoom, just message me. How about that? And I'll set up the Zoom link and I'll send it to y'all. And then I'll also post it in our group. Those of you that are not in the group, you should go there because we have a Facebook group called Heal by Blood Type. Let me make sure that's the name. That's also on the link in my bio in case TikTok is listening, which they are always listening. Can y'all please put the name of the group in the comments so everybody can see it? Please go and join the group. And then we also have another one for Black Sheep. So let me tell y'all what both of those are. So the one for Healing by Blood Type, okay, is called Heal by Blood Type. And then the other one is Black Sheep Sweeps Founders. These are groups. So you can look that up and it'll take you right to the groups, okay? So you got Heal by Blood Type, and then you got Black Sheep Sweeps Founders. That's where the founders will be. All right? So please message me anyway, just in case you guys don't go to the group, so I can send you the link. I'll create the link tonight, and then I'll send it out to anybody that DMs me, and I'll also put it in the groups, okay? So yeah, Black Sheep Sweeps Founders is the name of the group on over there where the old people go. Y'all know what it means, the platform for the old people. Y'all know what it is, okay? So I'm going to go and warm me up some of my turkey. It's almost 10 o'clock at night. All I've had to eat today or drink today was my carrot juice. That's probably why I'm still energetic. But I will see you guys tomorrow on the Zoom. And then after that, I'll probably go live tomorrow evening. Okay? So, I love you guys. And Fats says goodbye. Okay, Fats, thank you. All right, guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye. Okay, Fat Daddy.